that we called?
Yeah, tweeting it now.
Tweeted it. I know it's not come through. The Go Forth and Amplify podcast is brought to you by the Global Unification Network. Go to gu-network.com for an alternative look at world news. This week, me, Ben Burrows, at Brit Podcaster on Twitter, and Declan Edward Whiteside at The Anarchist Undead on Twitter are going to try and blow your fucking minds. Now, as they say in the United Kingdom of Northern Ireland and Great Britain and the Commonwealth, Declan, let us start this motherfucker. Anyway. The world is at war and an invasion is on the horizon. Syria is staring down the barrel of a gun. Is Great Britain and the United States of the police state of America going to invade? A ground invasion, an air invasion, a sea invasion? Or they're just going to bomb the shit out of it with Reaper drones like cowards that we are? Declan?
Don't have a clue what's with your fucking voice going in on that.
No, never do I. I'm so happy though. I'm happy.
I would definitely say it's going to be missiles. There's going to be no fucking invasion at all.
No troops on the ground. We're not going to make the mistakes that we made in Baghdad or Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, no.
No.
Definitely not.
David Cameron is being held back on a slippery, greasy lead by the United Nations and by the Labour Party and his own Conservative inner ranks. Apparently, they've postponed the vote, the parliamentary vote on invading. What's the word? Is it invasion? Is that the word they're using? What's the word? Just military action.
Yeah, military action.
It's postponed the vote by 24 hours, where he goes around all of his MPs with any official power. Do you know, like the outsiders?
Yep.
Do you know, to bribe them?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be some type of bribe, won't it? We'll give some more money to your fucking constituency.
Yeah, it's all
something like that now.
Stupid things.
They're now playing the numbers game, aren't they? So he's going to postpone it for 24 hours. And will the House, should it be up to the House to turn around and decide what they're going to do for the people? Or should they tomorrow just say, right, what's the vote that we're going to do? A referendum, should they do it? Could they put a referendum out there for it?
A referendum on average takes 6 to 8 months.
But why don't they just say, right, people of the United Kingdom, we're going to put up an online vote. Do you support a military... What is it? Military what?
Military action.
Military action on Syria. Kids are dying. You've seen it in the newspaper. I'm going to go to yes. I know every other war I've ever fucking been made aware of, there's been some type of fuckery behind it, hasn't there?
Yeah.
So I believe that this one is bollocks. I believe that this one is I don't know, more not necessarily run by conspiracy theorists. I'm believing what I'm seeing on the news. One thing that is spinning it a little tiny bit is, are the rebel forces doing most of the sarin gas? Do you know, to get outside attention?
Yeah. Well, now, every single news agency on the fucking planet, practically, of at least the Western world, including most governments, have basically said they've more or less got proof that it is them, not the rebels that did it, and that it is the Syrian government. Now, the main thing you mentioned then about, being able to vote online and all that shite, we couldn't do it. It'd be impossible. You just couldn't do it because,
of course, they can do a Facebook poll. Facebook do polls.
Yeah, but it's all bullshit. It's just a load of shit. It's all manipulable. You can't fucking vote online in this country. It's impossible. Completely impossible.
How do you mean manipulable? Do you think that there'd be too much fucking involved? Do you not think the masses are going to vote for it anyway?
What you need to remember, right, is that
they can do if the X Factor they can do it. If the fucking X Factor can do a telephone vote, an online vote, the fucking British government can do it.
If somebody right out there right now, a British citizen, is disagreeing with the thought of sending, firing missiles into Syria, they're not going to go online and vote. The only people who are going to vote are the people who want to bomb the shit out of it.
I disagree heavily. I reckon people... I think they'd be... As proof that's always fucking been around, People only vote when they don't want something, don't they? I don't want that. Oh, fucking, we're not going to do it. When people are happy with the norm, they think, well, I'm not going to vote because somebody else will just vote for yes for me anyway. Well, it's only when people are really moved by something and touched by something but that they vote. Look at Matt Cardle. Everybody wanted Matt Cardle to win the X Factor. Do you know what I mean? It's a story.
It's got to be a parliamentary vote. It's got to be.
You trust those fucks to do what's in the best interest?
Absolutely do not trust them.
So why are you saying it's got to be?
More than the fucking citizens. Absolutely.
You fucking typical Tory boy. How can you trust them more than the citizens?
The thing behind it is that, one, straight away, every poll that's been out has had overwhelming support for not shooting the shit out of Syria. I don't think there's one poll that's had more people vote to shoot at Syria. Which means it fail anyway. But under our laws, it's got to be a parliamentary vote. It's got to
be. Right, so it's going to be a parliamentary vote.
But even then, now they postponed it for 24 hours. Now, obviously, you're talking about quite a few hours ago when they did it.
Yeah.
Now he's got the backing of the Labour Party anyway.
How is it? What?
He spoke to Ed Miliband, and Ed Miliband's giving him his backing.
Okay.
Giving him his full backing as long as the evidence points to Syria.
I wonder what Ed Miliband has got.
Ed Miliband said he's going to back him as long as the proof is there that it was the Syrian government or the Syrian armed forces or Assad or whoever was behind it. And the Americans have come out and said that they've got taped proof that it was the Syrian armed forces. That's what the Americans have said.
I didn't know that.
They have taped proof and they are going to show it. Now,
playing devil's advocate, what's the taped proof that they've got?
Fuck knows. Let's face facts. They want them to get bombed the shit out of. They just don't want to do it themselves. They want to go and be off doing their own shit because they want fucking us to sort this out. Or at least the people local to this area.
People in uniforms is not tape proof, is it?
No.
Because you can put anybody in a fucking uniform. You can say anybody. You can put anybody in a uniform. You can put any pilot in an aeroplane. Was it an air attack, do we know?
No, most of it was missile barrages.
Missile barrages. Are the rebels that desperate to get outside intervention involved in their country that they're willing to kill their own citizens? What
I would say absolutely.
How can they do that to women? How can they do that to anybody? But women and children. Some of those pictures were fucking heartbreaking. I've avoided them. I've seen one picture, and it was on ITV News, on ITN, and it was all blurred out, but I made out the body of a child, which was 4 years old, and its mother lying next to each other, and it was fucking heartbreaking. If they called me up for conscription tomorrow to be part of the land invasion to Syria, I would do it because I was touched by that much. Did you see any of those pictures?
I seen a picture of 40 boys between 4 and 9 lined up, all dead.
And what did you think of that?
Well, it was a bad picture. It absolutely was a bad picture.
Did it touch you?
Not particularly.
Did it not?
You find pictures like that with all fucking wars, generally speaking. They fly about all over the place. You see the pictures after fucking Egypt, the Egyptian fucking army had their fucking fun.
No, they didn't.
Fucking hell. It was fucking kids, women, fucking old people, fucking everything.
Yeah, I try to avoid that shit now. I can't say. I've got kids myself. I avoid any pictures of fucking dead children.
To be honest with you, now, I tend to get more moved by, not necessarily sad things, but by visually things. Visually stunning pictures or visually impact pictures.
Well, you're saying those dead kids wasn't a visually impact?
It's not that much of an impact on me. Not only that, I don't have kids, so a lot of people who don't have kids don't really feel the same towards kids as parents do, like you might, especially with your son being a similar age.
Yeah.
But like one of the main pictures that I seen of it, not necessarily the Syrian gas thing, but was a picture that a journalist had took in of the rebel forces. It was, and they sat there, and they're in a garage. You can tell it's somebody's garage. They've got like an iron sheet metal front door. You know the ones that have the little riveted edges on.
Yeah.
Going all the way up.
On the front of shops.
Yes. Yeah. And they're there, and they've got these couple of breeze blocks missing out the thing, and they're both there. They're firing AK-47s out of this little gap in the breeze blocks, and they basically, you've got one shooting an AK-47 and one behind him spotting binoculars, and this sheet metal door that they're sat behind for cover literally must have about 400 bullet holes in it.
What? And the bullets have gone through?
And the sun is literally from that direction. And so it's all these hundreds of jets of light shining down in front of these fellas while they're shooting out the thing. I just thought to myself, they're taking cover there, absolutely. Fucking one bullet hits that, it's just going to fucking take them out. That's it.
Yeah.
Off you go. But
AK-47s will never win a fucking against an army. It just won't. Not when
No,
they're
it won't,
firing fucking missiles from 500 miles away.
But in an armed force, in a weapon versus weapon environment, AK-47s smash all of our weapons. AK-47s are more powerful, better range, better at sniping, full stop.
Shit accuracy.
Yeah. But, like I said, it's not going to come to a ground invasion anyway. I'd be very, very surprised if it did.
It won't be a ground invasion, would it? I think they will put peacekeepers on the ground. What's fucking frustrating is that this has been going on for nearly 2 years now, hasn't it?
I think it's over 2 years
2 years. I mean, the bloodshed is only getting worse, isn't it? Parts of Damascus is gone, but you can go around the corner and there's like a full fucking market, completely survived. Have you seen the Google Earth images?
Yes.
What it was 48 months ago. 24 months ago, and the place isn't stunning, but it's pristine. And fast forward now for the 24 months, and it's gone.
Now,
it literally looks like a war zone.
This is the main thing to always point out as well. Each area that's flattened are all rebel-held areas. They're always rebel-held. All the fucking Assad's forces, all their areas, are more or less fucking still going. Some of them have been hit fairly hard.
What, do they have good artillery now, the rebels?
Well, no, what I'm saying is the rebel-held areas get fucked completely because Syria's army's got fucking artillery galore. And not only that, Russia's just sending all their arms in.
I know.
Russia's just sending fucking missiles, planes, fucking all their artillery, weapons, ammunition, everything.
So the Labour Party is getting behind Cameron, and the Conservative Party may come round with these.
They will. They definitely will.
Okay, so it looks like there's going to be a green light for the military, whatever you want to call it.
Yes,
military fucking action in
but
Syria.
Obviously, the main thing that always comes down to anyway is that they'll still have to get UN approval to do it anyway.
They never got UN approval when they fucking went into Iraq.
But politics, fucking 10 years ago, was slightly different.
No, it wasn't.
It was
not in the generation, because the generation's about 10 years, don't they?
This government now would never do it. They would never let it come. They would never do it without UN permission. They just wouldn't. Because number one, they do not have America. America will go, whoa, no, fuck off. You can sort this out. Same as Libya.
Yeah. So,
and the whole thing with the UN thing was that it didn't matter if you'd had the UN permission or not with the Iraq thing.
Okay.
Because America was like, well, we're going in. And you're coming with us.
Yeah.
But literally, I seen it was an image on the Times, and it was showing it had pictures of the different fleets that have been near Syria since it all happened, and they've all been sat there just waiting
for the green light.
You've got fucking countless warships, and they're all literally, these aren't warships that carry helicopters or fucking planes or any type of launchable anything. They're just missile ships.
Oh yeah,
they are just torpedoes and missiles.
That's what happened when they first went into Iraq, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it was bombard from sea.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't. It was establish air dominance, which they got like that.
Yeah.
Because there was expecting the Iraqi Air Force to scramble all the Russian-built MiG jets, because they did have a sizable Air Force. Yeah. The rumours were that it wasn't a well-maintained Air Force, so even for the first 4 to 6 months of the invasion, they were still expecting some type of resistance from the air, and none came at all, so they got air dominance like that. So when they got air dominance, all they started to do was fucking send up Tomahawk cruise missiles, and it was fucking, first thing they did was it was attacking the Parliament building. You remember seeing the tower?
You know, obviously your main thing is going to be, you can send your Tomahawk and cruise missiles in blind, using your satellite imagery and all that stuff, but
hardly blind.
They are literally going to have. There's going to be. I know that the fucking general, or not the general, whoever the hell it is who's commanding our set of warships that are there. Yeah. He said that they formulated your plan type thing. They're just going to have sat there fucking 400 odd targets.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be Royal Palace, fuck it, it's just going to be Royal Palace, ammo depot, because all these fucking seasoned satellites, logistic fellas in the army and stuff like that, they'll just whack a map out and they'll go, that's an ammo depot, that's an ammo depot.
And use Google
weapons,
Earth.
That's a barracks, that's that. They can just pick it out dead easy, and they'll just go like that. It'll just be electronic, probably it'll be marker. There you go.
Are you expected to see massive defection as soon as they get the green light? All the generals and a lot of generals and high-ranking military officials and government members will just say, "Sorry, Assad, you're on your own." A 10-mile
to be honest with
resignation.
If it'd been a couple of months ago, yes, but a couple of months ago it changed and Assad started winning. Until then, it was really close.
Yeah,
and he did start having defectors.
yeah, I remember.
But now it is not close at all. Those rebels will not make it. They will not win.
Which country military lieutenant colonel flew the plane to Egypt? Was it a Syrian colonel or was it a Libyan colonel? I know somebody flew a fighter jet to, it was either Turkey or Egypt, and automatically fucking defected. It was one of the countries. I expect to see a massive defection. They know the war machine is on the way of Great Britain and the United States and arguably France.
See, the thing is,
cheese eating
these days,
donkeys.
Compared to the World War days, military conflicts now, definitely Western world ones. As you said, it is literally just going to be, my ships are out there, you have no ships. Let's just fucking use them.
Does Assad not have a navy?
I think they do have a navy, but our force, number one, is that far out. He won't go near him. It's in international waters. And number two, he'd get knocked to fuck. He just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It'd be impossible. His best bet is to play the Air Force.
Yeah.
Because he has an Air Force.
Right.
He has an Air Force. Our Air Force looks at and goes, definitely have casualties.
Really? Why? What? Do we know what they got? The Minks and shit.
Very similar to...
They haven't got Euro fighters or fucking...
No, it's...
What is it, the F-33s or something like that? What have they got?
It was very similar to the Iraqi set. It's much bigger, though. It's a much bigger army. It's better maintained.
Well-funded.
It's well-funded because the Russians fund fucking everything for it.
Well, they don't fund. They take money from Assad.
Yes.
Well, where's Assad getting his money from, then? Because it's not natural resource, the country, is it? But he's massively wealthy. Yeah. Massively wealthy as a family.
Syria as a nation has always been generally wealthy.
Right. Economically,
yeah.
Right.
It's always had a general wealth about it.
So why don't they just kill the currency?
Because they can't. It's nowhere near manipulable like other ones are. Plus, they do not have a stock market. I don't even think they've got a central bank. They've got just
banks.
I don't even know what the fucking currency is. Do they even have a currency? I don't know.
Yeah,
they will do, obviously, but I don't know what it is. I don't even know if it's manipulable. Now it's become relatively closed off.
I wonder if it's one of those countries where you've got to buy the currency when you're in that country. You
possibly.
can't get it over.
But
because there's some currencies you can't even bring back into this country, isn't it?
But like I said, Assad is winning and has been winning for a few months now. Now, that swings to me towards there's a fairly large possibility that it was the rebels doing it. Now, they're going to say they've got proof, but let's face facts.
There's massive potential.
Our governments could make up any proof.
Yeah.
Any of these fucking countries. Just like that. They just go, bam, fucking hell. Morsi was a terrorist. Boom. They'll just fucking create shit.
You can look at the chain of events leading up to this from when Kofi Annan stepped down because he wanted intervention immediately, didn't he? And the UN, he accused the UN of not only not doing enough, he accused them of basically not doing anything. He said there's already people in the ground, and
he always said it's not necessarily the UN's not doing anything. It's that the UN can't do anything because of UN members just going veto. China and Russia were just killing it all. And
so
sadly,
would China and Russia have a veto vote that could stop a war?
Yes, because they are a certain size nation. They can literally... Russia's the more important one in this. Russia has literally vetoed everything in the last 2 years.
Okay.
Now they're a little more reluctant to veto whatever the hell might come next.
Is it because of the chemical weapons?
Because of the chemical weapons thing. Whether or not they will actually veto it or not, I do not know. But Russia is allied with Syria. It's not a fucking customer or a partner. It's an ally.
Well, I've seen some of the fucking orders that Syria have been putting in under the, even though they got weapons trade embargoes against them. I've seen the fucking the shopping list that was leaked to the press, and all right, it could be fuckery of the document being leaked, but it was something like 3 million rounds of AK-47 ammo, 1 million rounds of fucking I don't know, some type of missile, 500,000 grenades. Do you know what I mean? 9mm handgun weapons.
Not only that,
heavy artillery weapons. And plus, Russia have sent in recently the surface-to-air missiles, which are 21st century technology on 21st century vehicles that have a reputation to be on par with the best surface-to-air missiles in the world. We will have problems with that.
I remember when they sent the first shipment and Israel got it. Israel blew it up, didn't they? The first shipment of them missiles that the Russians supplied were being transported on Syrian vehicles. And before they got into fucking Syria, Israel, fuck off, have it.
Oh, yeah.
Because all Israel's seen is this. Israel, where it is, all the countries around it, Israel will flatten them by every one of them. Not one of them can fucking touch Israel's air force.
What do we know about Israel's position on it then? On it being Syria?
Israel's position is that Syria needs to be flattened for what it is. The thing is with Israel, though, is that whether or not what Syria is doing is bad, is that Israel, in my opinion at least, has always seen Syria
as a problem.
As a problem, just like all the others. But Syria, as they've fucking proved, isn't in the chemical weapons pact. They have chemical weapons. They've always stocked chemical weapons.
Chemical weapons?
As in full-on sarin, nerve gas, the full works. They're one of only 5 countries that never signed the pact. There's only 5 countries in the world that still have chemical weapons. Everybody else has none.
It's terrifying, isn't it? The world is on the brink of war.
And
theoretically.
Now, the thing with Syria, like I said, they are fairly wealthy. But now Assad has got fucking more or less all the power. Them rebels are fucking failing, big style. Don't get me wrong. They've inflicted casualties. They really have, but now the momentum's gone. They're at over 100,000 fucking dead on their side.
Yeah, I know they've been losing ground. It was the won ground, the lost ground, the won ground, the lost ground, but now it seems to be the losing. I
think the turning point was Hezbollah joining in.
For Syria?
Well, Syria obviously must have negotiated something with Hezbollah.
When we say Syria, we're saying the Syrian government.
Assad, yeah.
Yeah, Assad, yeah.
I'll always say rebels for the rebel ones.
Al-Qaeda. Let's call them what they are. Al-Qaeda.
Well, yeah, some Al-Qaeda, yeah. Assad got Hezbollah on board. Now, Hezbollah, arguably, much better trained than any of the Syrian armed forces.
Guerrilla warfare, yeah.
At guerrilla warfare, which is perfect for especially fucking in Aleppo. Aleppo's fucking nothing left. That's basically a fucking jungle made of brick. That's all it is now.
A ghost town.
There's fuck all left.
A shame. An absolute shame. All that history.
Arguably, Aleppo is one of the fucking main cradles of civilization. It always has been. Some buildings are fucking ancient.
I know. Date back many, many, many hundreds of years.
Yeah. But
it's a waste.
Hezbollah obviously were brought in, and they are very well trained. Very well trained. And they started training Syrian armed forces in the same art. And I've seen all the pictures and videos of when they first took that first town back, like it was a key town, and they took it back, no problem at all. And the rebel forces have been fucking getting pushed back ever since. It's just Assad's just overwhelmed them. He really has. They've lost support, and not only that, people in the country now are looking at fucking hell. 6 figures dead, and they're just looking at thinking, maybe we should just fucking stick with him.
Really, that's the option to get into. Why did the West want him gone, or did the West just say, do you know what, we can't no longer not get involved in it? Well, I believe that some leaders, and particularly David Cameron, as a parent, it's massively affected them as a human being, not just as a leader of one of the most professionally trained forces in the world.
I think, generally speaking, the West was more or less happy with Assad.
Right.
He was relatively not a big funder of terrorism, not a big dodgy fucker. He always generally, the country was there. It wasn't particularly a nice country.
On everybody's radar, like Libya.
Yeah,
or Iraq or Iran.
It was just there, you know, it was just always there. It's always had fucking issues with Israel and all little fucking issues, but if they weren't that bothered, now then fucking the Arab Spring came, didn't they? And that fucking changed things in Syria. Yeah. I think the Western governments would have been much happier just for it to happen like it did in most of the other, with a couple of others, where he got fucked off. But obviously Assad has arguably been much more intelligent than the others, and he's fucking succeeded in his endeavours. Yeah. He's fucking got the backing of Russia, he's got the backing of Hezbollah. You know, he's arguably done from his...
The backing of North Korea, the important one.
You know, from his side of the fucking story, he's done amazingly well.
Yeah.
He's held onto that country, and, you know, he got to a point where there was no turning back, basically. But he's won. It's paid off for him. He's won at the moment, anyway. Now
would it be naive to say he's not concerned about the West getting involved? Because once the West get involved, then he knows that the West aren't going to say, well, fucking, it's just too hard, we can't do it. Once the West get involved, it becomes getting over them for that regime.
Oh, yeah,
Is it a regime? Yeah, it is a regime.
It is a regime now,
Did he have political parties in Syria, do we know?
They have a parliament.
They have a parliament.
Which has political parties. But
so there's an opposition.
But it's been... it's not really an opposition. It's like a Russian opposition. You know, it's an opposition that gets a little bit of a vote.
So they don't have elections there?
I believe they do have elections, but get this, right? This is the main thing to remember with Syria. Like quite a few of the other countries, you tend to find democracy doesn't work because each party that gets in might be an all Shia party or Shiite or whatever the hell they're called. I can't even remember what some of the others are called, but you know, there's quite a few others. They do get Sunni, that's another one.
Yeah, Sunni.
You'll find that
Muslim Brotherhood.
If I remember rightly, Assad is Shiite, I think.
Oh, is he not? I thought it was Anglo.
I don't know.
I thought it was Anglo-Christian.
No, I mean he's in
the party.
It is him. Generally speaking, his town that he's from is part of. What you need to know is Shiite and Sunni. They are not like a
Labour and Conservative.
They are a tribe. They're from tribals. They're from towns, villages, blah blah, that are that type. I can't remember what he is, whether he's Shiite or Sunni or whatever. Whatever it is, he's that, which is actually a fairly large minority in Syria. But his entire government are all from that minority.
Right.
You know, his fucking armed forces from that minority. Right. You know, it all fucking bends sideways then.
Yeah, it does.
You know, that's why we're fairly lucky. We don't have that fucking problem.
How did he come to power then? Because I know that his father was ruler of the country, wasn't he? And he was a man of peace, wasn't he? Wasn't he a big man of the people, his father?
I think I honestly, I've never, to be honest with you, Syria is that under the radar. I've never followed the politics.
Right. I'm sure his father was originally the leader. I'm sure his father was a man of the people, and the people loved him. It was a prosperous country. Then he popped up on the radio and he just went, no, fucking this is how things are gonna work. As soon as the word secret police get fucking put together, then you know the world's gonna end. In that part of the world,
if we end up doing anything at all, it will be the end for them, because I can guarantee they're going to tomahawk the fuck out of them airstrips. Yeah. That's the first thing that's going to go. Airports, ammo depots, palace.
Bridges.
Not necessarily bridges. Bridges don't really control that much of Syria. There's very little in the way of river.
Right. Is it landlocked?
Yeah, it's...
We don't know how big the coastline is, do we?
I honestly don't know. Like I said, Syria is that under the radar. It's always been one of them countries similar to Turkey where, you know, it's relatively... Let's not concentrate on them. There's not really that much of a problem. We'll concentrate that way, further south, where all the fucking lunatics go to war all the fucking time.
Arguably.
I can't even know what I was going to say with that one then.
The family rising up through power.
Yeah. They have a massive majority. Now, I remember when it first happened, when he first started rebelling. Don't know if you've ever seen the videos of him going to his parliament for support. We'd go in and their parliament was it's like a ballroom. It's just like a load of seats, you know, and you've got your main stand that he was on. He was standing up. You know, when he gave this speech, and everybody was giving, cheering. You know, the full fucking works. It's just a farce. You know, all your defectors never seemed to be anybody. There was a few important ones that did defect, but they're probably sat there now going, well, I'm not going back to that country for a long time. Because they can see...
probably never.
Yeah, possibly. You know, it is a possibility because there's quite a few countries out there that have gone through civil wars and it's lasted that long that by the time they've got back in there, considered like a fucking war hero because they've been gone for 25 years and stupid things like that. And I don't think anybody wants that to happen in Syria.
This is going to be the first war that the world has seen since...
If it comes to war.
Since Vietnam, isn't it? It could be a long, drawn-out us against you. It can certainly turn into another fucking Falkland Islands. I know they're not fighting for independence or anything like that, but there's going to be a retaliation, an effective retaliation from Syria. These aren't fucking about... This is not Afghanistan, where they don't have the infrastructure, the military infrastructure to do it. This isn't going to be like Iraq, where they go in and literally platoons of forces are surrendering, putting down the weapons, because they know what happened at the Gulf War. This is going to be a country where they have an organised military structure with the capabilities of bringing down the latest technology of aeroplanes. They might even be able to sink a few fucking ships. I will not be able to comprehend seeing a fucking ship sink on the TV.
I believe that our governments have got a certain timeline before Assad will succeed in getting them surface-to-air missiles, before he succeeds in getting them delivered.
They've got them.
It's a long delivery time. He's got a few, but there's not many.
No, I reckon he's got them all. I know. I think. Do you know what, mate? We can't even guess at that.
No, well,
he's probably since they even whisper since Kofi Annan started foot on the ground. He's probably went surface-to-air missiles, put an order in, spend as much money as you want, blank check, want fucking 500 surface-to-air missiles in this fucking country by Christmas.
Yeah, but it's a long wait time for them missiles. It was a long wait time when he ordered them. It was a long wait time.
What was a long wait time? Because I reckon I've seen this around January.
I'm sure it was something like 9 to 12 months. And the first couple never got there because Israel did it, and Israel didn't admit it, and then a few days later they did admit it.
Every container vessel, every ship, every aeroplane that has landed in that country would have been followed by satellite, and guarantee it would have been scanned by some type of fucking satellite.
Straight away, Russia cannot send anything by ship.
Why?
Because number one, they don't have any type of port to use there.
Who?
Anyway.
What? Syria?
Russia.
Russia? What do you mean?
Well, they've got no coastline there.
Who does? No. What do you mean? Yeah, but Russia's got a fucking coastline.
Not in the Mediterranean, they don't.
Yeah, but of course they can send it by ship. Just sail it in between America, go down.
No, they can't. Do you know what type of journey that is? Number one, they couldn't get in there anyway because it'll be completely blocked for them to be able to send stuff to Syria.
They could have sent it around the Arctic or anything.
No,
they can go the longest way around the world.
The only way is cargo plane, road. Only two ways. That type of a journey, it's just too much. They couldn't do it. They will not do it.
If they can sail a ship from fucking China to fucking the United Kingdom, they can get a ship from fucking Russia to fucking Syria.
It's even further than to the United Kingdom, though. But anyway, the surface-to-air missiles are a threat. They really are a threat. They want to do stuff before then. But they might even just come to it and just never send planes in anyway. Just, fuck it, let's just fucking tomahawk
the shit out of it. But what's that going to achieve? It's going to achieve infrastructure destruction.
Yes.
We know that. It's not necessarily going to remove Assad.
It's not necessarily going to remove Assad unless they get really lucky.
Yeah.
But it will remove a lot of morale, where arguably they've got a lot of hope pinned on. Oh no, they won't do it. Russia will protect us. Russia will veto. Russia will veto. Russia will veto. They will veto.
Okay.
Please, they will veto.
Yeah.
The day that Russia doesn't veto, their asses are going to go. Because they're going to know that the second that fucking we pass anything, that's it. It's coming down.
In my opinion, I can't see Russia vetoing. Because I think Russia are too far balls deep in supplying them all the technology and the weapons that they need.
I actually think Russia will veto.
That's a massive turning point.
I know it's a massive turning point, but now this is the thing. The West, generally speaking, as part of Obama's lovely Snowden incident, the West, generally speaking, has fucked Russia off. No one's talking to Russia at the moment, so Russia's just not coming to the table. So Russia's just going veto, veto, and it all went out the fucking window a month ago when Obama cancelled his meeting with Putin over Snowden. Of all the fucking things, he cancelled a meeting with fucking Putin about Syria because of Snowden.
That's ridiculous.
You know, he cancelled it, and it was literally only Syria, and he was going to talk to President Putin, just the two of them, about Syria.
That's fucking dumb, isn't it?
Oh, fucking... Well, obviously, he couldn't have expected fucking nerve gas to go fucking raining down if he didn't already know about it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, haven't the UN now confirmed that they've used nerve gas, or sarin has been used?
They've confirmed that it's been used, yes.
Right, and they've got some type of it. So what other evidence? Why does David Cameron want to give the UN 4 more days of collecting evidence?
Because in order for us to get a completely legitimate strike on Syria, we need the UN to vote, to pass, to say the Syrian armed forces controlled by President Assad attacked the whatever the hell the rebel forces are called, the United Judeans People's Front, something stupid like that. They need that backing to be legitimate.
Right.
If they have that legitimacy like they did in Libya, there's no outcry. There's no problem. They can just go right. Boo, boo, boo. Fuck off. There we go.
Do you know what the name of that operation was in Libya?
I can't remember.
What was it now? It was Operation. Something like Operation in Libya, something like that. It was spelled oil.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what? I can't fucking believe it.
But
if Syria had natural resources, would we have been in there sooner? Could you give a definitive answer?
If they did have natural resources, it'd all be Russian owned anyway.
Would it?
There'd be no benefit. Russia owned very little in the countries that we've been to.
Libya.
Russia owned very little in terms of the natural resources, or none at all. For example, Afghanistan, Russia had fuck all. Because Russia fucked off the second the Soviet Union collapsed and never went back. They left everything. Apparently out in Russia, there is literally...
Out in Russia?
Out in Afghanistan, sorry. Apparently there is whole power stations still in bits, rusted to fuck, ready to be built in Afghanistan. And the Russians left before they built them. The Afghan never managed to build them because of the Taliban.
Yeah.
Taliban just left them there to rot, and now they're just fucking billions of pounds worth of shit. Fuck all. Nothing there can use anymore.
Yeah, I can remember when I was watching a British Armed Forces documentary, and it was is it the Royal Engineering Logistics Corps or something like that? I think what they call REMES or something like that. They were given a short film on how they're surviving in Afghanistan with the infrastructure that's already there, and they went to this was a Russian built whatever, some type of plant, and the REMES went in and they got it operational again. They said literally it's been sat here for 35 years not doing fucking anything. It's going to take a lot of work, but the foundations are built. We just need to go in with our technology and make it better, and they were doing it. They were bringing, I think it was a dam, I think it was a hydro dam or something like that.
I remember speaking to you about it.
Yeah, I don't know whether you put me onto it, but they managed to get it fucking.
Yeah, what it was, a lot of British forces spent a lot of time and money and lives as well on moving all that equipment, because they had to get certain equipment new because it was rusted to fuck. Moved it from one side of fucking Afghanistan to the other side through every war zone you can fucking think of.
Helmand province. They
moved it all to there. They got it there. The Americans are supposed to fucking finish it all off. The Americans shit-canned it. That's it. So it's all sat there junk. There's fucking millions of pounds worth of fucking hydro generators and parts of dam and everything sat there in a built dam, never to be used.
Why?
And I'm sure I remember reading that if it's not used within the year, it's fucked. It's written off. It's gone. It'll never get used again. And the Americans chose to play down the significance of our role in moving it anyway, and then chose to shit can it. So, you know, if they want to fucking change Afghanistan, you need to fucking invest.
Yeah.
You can't just go to war. You know, you've got to invest. Let's face facts, right? It's a different example. Look at fucking Germany. The first time, we fucking flattened them and punished them, and it fucking failed. It all happened again. And the second time,
Under
we
our
flattened
noses.
them, punished the people who were responsible, and then gave them shitloads of money, which we did.
Yeah.
We paid for fucking Germany.
To be rebuilt.
You know, we paid for it, and it's fucking our investment that we'll never get any money back from. But you'd much rather have fucking Germany, wouldn't you, than what Afghanistan is now.
I never lived in the town when Germans were flying over
Yeah.
our heads trying to fucking kill us, though.
But let's face facts, though. If right now you could have an Afghanistan that was completely politically stable, an economic powerhouse, relatively little armed forces, you know, relatively little problem, no terrorists, no nothing, sat there, fucking hell, it's a hell of a fucking start, isn't it? Then not only that, you have that there in the middle of all them, fucking the others might fucking follow.
Yeah, that's, well, wishful thinking. In an ideal world, that would happen. What's got to be at the back of every fucking world leader's mind is, if they succeed to get rid of Assad, which they will do, it might take time. They got fucking, what's his name, Saddam Hussein, down a fucking well, looked like shit and all that. They managed to get in. Let's say they get Assad. What the fuck is going to rise up in his place? I mean, who the fuck's in charge of Libya at the moment? We don't know. We don't know the name, do we?
No.
We don't know what the fuck's happening over there in Libya at the moment.
Relatively little.
Well, just because it's not in the mainstream media.
Yeah,
I'm saying that there's not much in the conspiracy fucking the alternative news media sites as well.
There's very little going on in Libya as far as I know.
Are they having parliamentary elections over there? Do we know?
I don't even know.
Yeah, see what I mean.
But
It's like, Libya, yeah, right, game
I
over.
think-
The rebels are in. That's it.
I think the
Forget
Arabs,
about it. They are all still being pumped.
I think the Arab Spring was a fucking brilliant idea to support on paper by the Western nations. You know, oh look, fucking they can all have democracies without us helping. You know, without us bombing. You know, without us fucking spending much money. So it seemed like a fucking good idea. And when it happened, I remember sitting there and I just thought to myself, the first thing I thought was, it's gonna be a fucking disaster, because you cannot go from dictatorship to democracy.
Well,
Not like that. Not that fast.
They've just proved that in Egypt, haven't they? The
yeah.
first democratically elected leader is under fucking military
Who did
arrest.
win, by the way. The UN, not the UN, whoever the hell it is who monitors the elections, approved. There was a margin of about 2% where it might have been fluffed a little bit, but he more than had the majority. You know, so he won. That he was the democratically elected leader, arguably voted by the majority of people, and a lot of people voted as well.
The first person to take over the leadership under the umbrella of democracy is always going to have a very difficult task moving a dictatorship out of that fucking realm. It was always going to happen. You have hope that it was going to work. He didn't even last a year. What was the Egyptian president's name?
Mohamed Morsi.
Morsi.
He started off well.
Who was the guy he got rid of? Barak. Yeah, sorry.
Who's been released from prison, by the way.
Well, he's in military. He's in a military hospital, isn't he? Because he's dying.
So to speak. We all fucking seen the Lockerbie bomber dying.
Yeah, that's true. He lasted a good while.
Now Morsi got off to a good start. He got involved in a lot of fucking good things. He negotiated a new fucking peace treaty with Israel and all sorts of little things.
Yeah, he did,
and avoided, you know,
coming off the back of that, he was invincible.
You know, and he managed to fucking stop Israel from fucking going back in the Gaza Strip, which is a fairly good feat. You know,
it's fucking amazing.
And he responded to it by his entire country going, yeah, Mohamed Morsi, brilliant leader, you know, democratically elected, not a psychopath. He responded by going back, realising how much of a good fucking favour he had with his own people, and went, right, let's pass these new laws. And the law nearly word for word quotes Hitler's first law.
What was it?
Which gives him utmost power. Literally, that's more or less the exact word. It literally gives him power over everybody in the country.
Like an executive order.
Something like that. It was literally, I remember reading, it was fucking... I'm sure somebody said vocabulary-wise, it was like 90% Hitler's fucking first ever executive law.
What wheels was set in motion then after that for him to get fucked off by the military? Which wasn't a coup. It was not a coup, ladies and gentlemen. It was a coup.
A lot of things that he did. He brought in a law that cancelled out the original law of discrimination against women. So it was no longer punishable by law for discriminating women. He brought in a law, right, that took the law-making powers away from the courts, which they do have, took them away from them and gave them to the 60 religious leaders of the country, who just so happened to be 60 hardline Islamists that he brought in himself. He was going to bring back stoning. He was fucking, he was all fucking Islamist stuff.
Yeah, he was set in the Dark Ages.
The fucking Muslim Brotherhood. It just says to you, and I remember saying it on, I think I'm sure it was like episode 1.
What type of rational man sits there and thinks this is a good idea? This is going to win me another term in office. Let's take away white rights for women and bring back stoning. Yeah. It's the 21st fucking century. They were doing that in fucking Rome and Athens 4,000, 6,000, 8,000 years ago. That shit doesn't get done anymore.
A lot of people could argue they only gave him a year. They don't have a clue what his final thing was.
You didn't want to get that far.
I know you didn't. Well, that's the thing.
Have they got nukes?
No.
You don't know what's under those fucking pyramids.
Yeah, well, fucking about 20,000-year-old weapon, fucking doomsday machines.
They're true.
But
I love the smell of doomsday machines.
Now, obviously, he did. He did quite a few things that fucked him up generally, which then put him on the radar of people being unhappy.
You could say that. You could say that.
People wanting to get him out type of thing. Now, all them people protested. And even now, the vast majority of them don't regret, even though what happened with the fucking massacres and all that shit, which seemed to fucking get swept under the radar very fucking quickly.
Oh, no.
They fucking,
recent massacres.
Fucking hell, first day, 625 dead.
I didn't know it was that high.
And all of a sudden, the media outlets just kind of, next day, fuck all. Reported it one day.
Let's just think about that for 1 second. 625 civilians dead. How does that happen?
Voters.
Muslim Brotherhood voters?
Yeah, well, do them all Muslim Brotherhood.
Who the fuck killed them?
The army.
The army killed the Muslims.
Did you not see it? You can.
Yeah, I heard 30. I heard like the first day, 30 people got killed by the army.
It was a confirmed toll at higher than 600. I'm sure it was possibly even higher than that. I'm sure it might have been up to 700, 800. But
that name now will never have any political fucking power behind it. The Muslim Brotherhood. Straight away, any organisation that calls them a brotherhood, you know that fucking brotherhood is going to be so fucking watertight in their thoughts, because a brotherhood is going to have the agreement of and support of every fucking brother involved in that fucking organisation or gathering of people force, like FIFA call themselves a brotherhood.
Yeah. The main thing with it was I can't even remember. I had a fucking fantastic point then as well. What the fuck was it?
Muslim Brotherhood has fought to killing people.
That was it. The army obviously was saying, all the protests came out, so the fucking incarcerated Morsi or whatever said, we're going to bring back elections, we're going to bring back this, going to bring back that, fucking whoop they fucking do. After a couple of days after it had all died down, all of Morsi supporters came out then and started performing sit-ins all over the country. They'd always pick a big, tightly packed square, public area, sit-in, block the country. And the army said, we are going to stop you. If you do not stop, we are going to stop you from doing this. They carried on. And then the army, I'm sure it was a 24-hour notice, clear this area, clear this area, clear this area. Here's all of our tanks and APCs and our soldiers and snipers. Clear that area within 24 hours or we're going to kill you. That's exactly what they said. No one fucking budged.
Right.
So, I remember seeing it with all these fucking images. They fucking blocked in every square and they just killed everybody. And I'm talking about fucking, there was fucking kids. There was kids, women, children, men. Mostly men, arguably. But they didn't clear the area at all. And they just fucking went to town. That was it. Off they went.
That's inhumane.
The first day after Morsi got deposed was 30 dead. Because there was university students who were protesting about it outside the university and the army shot them.
That's the news article that
I'm on about the first day of actual violence was 4 days later when the Morsi supporters all got shot to fuck.
Oh my fucking.
And then what was left of them remnant-wise got locked themselves in a fucking mosque a few blocks away. And then they all got fucking shot as well. And there was a fucking good video footage of that. Of all you could hear was fucking flashbang, flashbang. That was it. They fucking shot everybody. Now,
how has the country not come out in force
against that?
Against the military? How has that not brought another 1 million people to the roundabout in Cairo?
Because a lot of people who protest against the Muslim Brotherhood, all they see is Muslim Brotherhood terrorists.
Right, so it was just Muslim Brotherhood that they targeted.
There's lots of fucking no, it was nobody but Muslim Brotherhood.
So it's like getting rid of the EDL and the BNP. Nobody's really asked.
Yeah, they just
don't kill kids. You don't kill anybody, but you don't fucking kill kids.
Now, you've had that in Egypt, right? Now we don't know what's going on in Libya. We don't really know what's going on in Tunisia, but Syria and Egypt are fucked at the moment. Egypt's even more so fucked. They still can't reopen the stock market. They're getting fuck all tourism to the pyramids or Cairo or any of their history. The only place they're getting fucking tourism to is fucking Sharm el Sheikh, which is the tourist area, which is locked off.
On the other side of Egypt.
Everywhere else, no one's going there.
If the opposition or the people of Egypt want to send a real message to the army and the government, all they need is one dickhead with a shotgun walking around one of those resorts, killing fucking Westerners on holiday, and that is when people will start to listen. Because once you kill Sharm el Sheikh, the arse is really fucking and truly gone out of Egypt.
Quite a few lads I know have recently come back from Sharm el Sheikh.
Yeah, one of the lads in work has just come back as well.
That's one of them. And he said he's never seen such a military
protected
area.
Yeah. He said he didn't see anything.
He's been there several times and he's never seen this much stuff.
Several times? Who?
Who was it? Fucking, I know Howie's not long come back.
Howie's go. He said it was the best holiday he's been on. He said the police are around everywhere, AK-47s, reading the book, smoking a fag. Not asked. You wouldn't think there was any problems in that country at all.
I believe Krabby's not long come back. Should stop fucking name dropping, really. Yeah. There's a couple of people now. One of them went round a lot of places round to the end, and on the edges of the fucking resort, it's fucking locked down. Good style.
Nobody out, nobody in.
Generally speaking, like that. Now, Egypt they've always had a decent economy anyway, but they do get a lot of tourism.
I know.
They always had a lot of tourism. Now they've been at what now? Fucking 2 years, 2.5 years.
Nation spring. And they've suffered. They've suffered. They've really suffered.
They've had fucking museums fucking done in and everything.
I know.
Surely they must be sat there now thinking to themselves, there must be fucking hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people sat there now done out of a job because there's no tourism, and they must be thinking to themselves, well, what the fuck can we do?
Enough's enough.
Because
they need to bring stability to the region.
They absolutely need to bring stability to Egypt, because Egypt has always been a little iffy, but it's always been one stable fucking country in a fucking shit area.
Yeah, because they had a fucking supreme leader there who was in the arse pocket of the West. He was a friend of the West.
Yeah.
He was a friend of Israel as well. In modern history, it wasn't always the Israeli-Egyptian war, but in modern history, it was a peaceful fucking area. The borders were fucking secure. There was no beef between them at all. Now, Egypt's got Egypt's got a big military. Egypt's got modern technology. Egypt have a big fucking air force.
Why
is that somewhere we've never got involved in? Why is that somewhere we've always let them sort their own shit?
Because it's always been stable. It's been stable for a long time.
And it's not an enemy of the West.
No. It's never, generally speaking, had anything to... No, Osama bin Laden was Egyptian, but it's never been, a funder of terrorism. It's never been anything to do with terrorism. How often do you hear about fucking bombs going off in fucking Egypt, apart from the last 2 years?
Well, yeah, you don't really, do you?
It's always had a solid slightly western feel to it. Yeah. Now, I know it's always been iffy. It always has been fucking really iffy, especially if you fucking leave the tourist areas. I've heard about stories about fucking people getting dragged behind walls with machetes and fucking the full works. Yeah. And
I've heard two of those stories.
Do you
want to come on a camel ride? Yeah. How much? This much. I'll go on that one.
But it's been generally stable. Syria was always generally stable, even though they're getting a big hoo-ha with fucking Israel back when it all kicked off, when they all ganged up on Israel and suddenly went, fucking hell, they've got an air force.
A really fucking modern one.
Yeah. They were fucking doomed to fail from the fucking start with that war. That Israel moved too fast. They all declared, we'll do this, and it was all about show of might.
Yeah.
It's always about show of force.
You can't.
No intelligence behind it. It was always a show of force. Look at our missiles, our tanks, our army. Well, what fucking good are they when you can't shoot that fucking plane down?
Lebanon captured one Israeli soldier.
Yeah.
Lebanon captured one Israeli soldier, and Israel went in and flattened 400 years of history, and they fucking flattened it.
I know we've stuck on the subject of fucking the Middle East a fair while, but
an hour we've been on it.
It's interesting,
It's happening,
especially when you talk about Israel, because generally speaking, out of everybody who's involved in this entire thing, Israel stands to lose the most, apart from the citizens of said country if they're going to die as well. But Israel, out of it, strictly speaking, will lose out if instability comes to the region. They will, in their own opinion, look out, because they will just fucking fight everybody again. But they will lose out in terms of, they will have a fucking war. They will have a fight on their hands. If Syria goes fucking tits up, fucking starts to use chemical weapons, or if anything comes over a fucking border, then you are going to have fucking issues. This fighting in Syria has been that fierce that there's been fighting between rebels and Syrian armed forces 200 yards away from the Israeli border. And the second, I don't care what anybody fucking says, the second that one of them fucking bullets, whoever it was fired by, comes over that border and hits one Israeli in the head, you've got a fucking problem.
Oh, massive
As you
problem.
Said, they're fucking going.
Because it literally will be the rebels and the fucking Syrian army against Egypt, and Egypt will just... not Egypt, Israel, and Israel will just fucking kill both of them. Israel don't give a fuck.
Syria, currently, it is what's the substitute war? It's exactly what it is. Russia's trying to have its fucking part out. The West is trying to have its part out, and the West is losing currently.
Yeah.
But it's not the same.
We're not losing. We're just not making any ground.
It's
just stagnant.
It's not the same as Vietnam. Nowhere near to that extent. But it is a substitute war. It really is. Russia's on Assad's force. Everybody else is on fucking the other side. On the rebels.
You don't give rebels weapons. You don't do it. I know this is the new tactic. Is it a new tactic? No, it's not. They've done this. They did this with Bin Laden. Didn't he? With CIA trained.
Fucking everybody. It's
gonna come back. It's gonna come back and bite us on our ass. Yeah. It is. If we're gonna train all these rebels up to be fucking, give them military training and how to load a gun and all this shit. That's what they want to do, don't they? They want to send people in there training, which arguably apparently is happening now. Apparently there's camps just outside of Syria, I think it's in Egypt or Israel, somewhere like that, where American special forces are training, doing a fucking 6-week crash course in special force training for rebels. Do you know what I mean? Which is not off the books, but it's not like major fucking news reporting. But this is happening now. They're training up the rebels for special force fucking tactics and expertise.
But Syria is arguably where it's going to happen, if it's going to happen. Now, no one's really mentioned the Israeli possibility, but it's a very fucking real possibility, because is Israel going to give a shit that Russia's on their side? Is Israel going to really hold off?
I've never heard Israel and Russia in the same context before.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Is Israel really going to give a shit about firing shit into Syria? Are they going to give a shit about flying over Syria, for that matter? Arguably, Syria's got a bit of a better air force than the other riffraff nearby.
Riffraff. Not the politically correct term, but agreeable.
You can class them as riffraff on comparison to Israel's forces.
Yeah.
It's like fucking, you going out, you're a fucking gangster out there, you've got a fucking submachine gun on you, you fucking go out and somebody pulls a fucking flick knife on you. That's what it's like. Syria might come back with a fucking another gun. It might not be as big as yours, but he's got one. He's gonna hurt, type of thing. Are Israel gonna give a shit? Probably not. They're probably just gonna go, right, sound. And they're very intelligent. Their armed forces are trained. They know exactly what they're doing. Syria knows what they're doing. Not as much as Israel, though. Israel pick fucking targets and they will pick their time.
Well, the West use Syrian forces then? Not Syrian forces. Will the West use Israeli forces, do you think? They're close by, they're equipped. If they bum up to Israel and just say, listen, we need your help. You go in.
I think if a UN thing gets
Resolution.
passed, there's going to be a general clause, Israel, fuck off. Do not come near it. Because if Israel has a go at Syria, you do have a problem then.
Yeah,
it is a good powder keg.
Unsteerable in the region. Well, I wonder what Iran's stance is and all this. Will Iran get involved at all? Because Iran are a friend of Syria as well.
Yes. Iran have been fairly quiet for a good fucking while now.
There's been no attention on Iran.
No, they have been nice and quiet for a good fucking while now. I'd never really thought about Iran, to be honest with you. They've not even said fuck all about Syria.
That we know of.
Now, I know they've given them official backing, but they don't exactly have much funding to back them with.
Who?
Not Iran.
Oil.
Yeah,
China's buying all the oil.
Yeah, but Iran thingy, their currency is that much in the toilet.
I know. They have got hyperinflation.
They couldn't fucking send it to Syria in enough quantity to help them.
Yeah.
They'll be using it for them fucking selves. They'll have to. I think that's why Iran's generally kept out of it, really. Because they've got relatively little they can send to them. Not only that, they couldn't get it there. Fucking Russia used fucking Iran as the fucking moving point for the first set of fucking missiles, and fucking Israel had them.
Yeah.
It's too obvious, Iran. They couldn't really help them. They're not in the right position to help them either. Not only that, if Iran fucking steps over that fucking border, Israel's going to go, right, here we go. Fucking.
In your opinion, are we going to see missiles in the air within 7 days?
I say 60-40 likely that there's going to be something flying over Syria within 7 days.
Within the next 30 days?
Within the next 30 days, I would be fucking gobsmacked if nothing's happened.
And when you mean nothing happened, do you mean military?
I mean as in something that's not Syrian flying over Syria, whether it's a missile or plane is another matter. But like I said, if the West succeeds right and flattens the fucking air bases, they can then enforce a no-fly zone. Similar to Libya. But they are going to have to pass the UN resolution. Because they don't have fucking the USA's full, come on lads, let's do it. Because USA is just going to be like, whoa, I'm just going to sit here and see what the UN says.
Yeah, but this is now a morality argument, isn't it?
Yes.
With the chemical weapons.
You always tend to find...
Barack said if they've used chemical weapons, it will bring into America's attention chemical weapons have been used.
His exact wording was, chemical weapons is a red line, which in American terms means we are going to bomb you. But he's seen his fucking ass now, because he's fucking said that. And all of a sudden he's kind of like, I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to fucking start that. He's just fucking got out of the fucking place. He's just succeeded in getting most of his military out of the fucking Middle East. Now he's going to be sat there looking at a fucking another one. I know it's not the Middle East, it's more the Northern East, really. But, I don't really think he wants to get involved at all. Now, I know he said he will join in, but he is absolutely not being the leader of this fucking operation. Arguably, by the looks of it, we might be piping up to be the leader of it, which is fucking odd, because we very rarely lead anything. We're the ones with the most... I know the Americans have more than us, but seat-wise and getting involved in it...
Boots on the ground.
Yeah. Being involved in it, we are looking to be one of the upper members of it, really. In Libya, we had a good bit, but it was kind of, 50-50 with France, really, doing it. But by the looks of it, we are fucking revving up to have a good fucking role in it.
Under the guise of morality.
Now, as I was about to say before, you always tend to find the biggest fuck-ups on our behalf is always going into a country or getting involved on morality. It's always morality. It's even when we say, oh, it's fucking about weapons and mass, it wasn't. It was about fucking morality. So it was about fucking lunatic terrorist fucking, thunder and everything, fucking being there and doing immoral things in his own country. That's what it's always about. It was always about oil as well, but
big part of it.
They always had that guise of morality, and in my opinion, whenever you see that guise of morality, that we use it is just a fucking cover.
What's happened to the economics of the world then?
Since Syria,
has there been any impact on the economics
today,
of the world?
Now, I haven't followed it since about 6 o'clock, so there's been 7 hours since. But the last update, right?
6 p.m.
Since 6 p.m. That was when I last read the news. Get this. I'm sure analysts within the stock market have given a 88% chance likelihood that there is going to be a war within a month.
Mm-hmm.
So the stock markets have gone, fuck, sell. And that much has fallen off the stock markets worldwide. And oil has increased that much. And gold has increased that much. Have a guess what the total amount of money is. Just today at 6 o'clock when I checked, and the stock market in America hadn't even closed yet. The amount of money that's either been sold on the stock market, raised in oil price, or raised in gold price. Have a guess what it is.
5 billion.
11 times the GDP of Syria. 11 times.
What's the GDP, Syria?
Fucking hell. It's a fairly large amount, but it's something stupid. Like going on 200 billion. Something stupid has just gone out the world economy over this Syria thing.
So
now
who's got the money and who's bought what?
Well, no one's bought anything. What it is, that it's always when you hear about the stock market's lost so much money, it doesn't necessarily mean all these people have lost money. Let's say you hear about the stock market losing 200 billion yesterday, for example. I know it's a lot, but let's say our stock market lost 200 billion yesterday. That just means somebody's sold 200 billion worth of stuff and took the money out.
Right.
That's all it is.
Okay.
But that many people all over the world have sold that much worth of stuff, which has then caused oil prices to go up under fear of... Now, get this. It's always been, Egypt, Egypt's going tits up, or Libya's going tits up. That's going to affect the oil supply. Syria's got no oil supply, so why the fuck's the oil going up?
Yeah, I know. I know.
It's just...
Is it going to affect any fucking pathways, any fucking shipping lanes at all?
Well, I think the terrifying thing for them is it not just being as simple as Tomahawk missiles going into Syria. The analysts are quite clearly... Now, don't get me wrong, fucking every analyst to do with stock markets is flaky as fuck. Fucking hell, fucking,
hidden agendas.
The sun could set red one day and they think, fucking hell, I better sell everything.
Yeah.
They fucking lose the shit.
Yeah.
You've seen it fucking off all sorts of stupid things over the last few years. The last few years we've had some
I'm saying that when the
fuck-ups.
tsunami was heading towards Japan, nobody sold anything.
I know, I did.
Yeah.
Fucking, I made a fucking good whack off that. But that was a fucking lucky guess.
Yeah.
I could have fucking lost shitloads of money if that had failed. I just got lucky, really.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is up at fucking 3 o'clock on a Monday morning?
Yeah.
Seriously.
I know. You need to talk us through that, what happened again. It's a great story.
I've never said that on the podcast.
No.
We're going to switch subject completely here, but...
Look, we're talking about the economy of Syria.
Yeah, generally. When the tsunami hit, now obviously back then I was a big gamer. Every night for me was 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, just like that setup there, I used to have 2 monitors. Second monitor, I would always have BBC News. Always BBC News. I'd play a game on the other monitor.
Okay.
Or a film on the other one. And I had BBC News on.
Does it refresh automatically?
It was a BBC News. It was TV. I had a TV card.
Right.
So I was watching it live. I'm sat there and I'm playing a fucking game. I look over and it's fucking, it gets that little breaking news thing. I know it's not as big as the fucking thing, but it was underwater earthquake off Japan coast. No problem. Japan stock market's been open for 3 hours at this point, by the way. And so it's and then all of a sudden it's like this amateur video footage. All of a sudden, by the looks of it, I think all the media networks got it before all the fucking alternative media networks got it. And it came in this fucking amateur footage, and it was like it was this beach, and like the first fucking wave came in, and I thought, fucking hell, that's a big fucking wave, and it was going bang, bang against all this fucking shite. And then a second wave came in, it was fucking bang against this wall, and the next thing is just went fuck off all of these fucking houses, and their houses just washed away like fucking twigs.
Right.
They made it fuck all.
So you're sat there looking at the screen like this.
I was like, what the fuck's this? So I was like, game off. Now, I had been at the time, I remember talking to you about it, I had been fiddling about with shares. I didn't know fuck all about them at all. I was reading the Times thinking I knew what I was doing and I was intelligent, but I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. It was always just I could not get my head around stock markets. I couldn't, as I said, the flaky is full. I could see a day when, fucking hell, look, Morrison's has doubled its profits. Well, I'll buy Morrison's, and the fucking shares go down. Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
You can't make any head sense of anything of it. So I was just sat there, and I had £600 in me betting account. So you're betting on shares.
Okay.
I had £600 in there. Now,
profit or capital that you put in yourself?
It was a little bit of profit. It was some capital, some profit. But I'd made hardly any profit, but it was a little bit in there. About £600. Now, at the time, on that stockbroking platform, for every £100 you put on, I could have a £1 bet.
Okay.
That £100 is capital, just in case you lose. Now, you can lose more than that, so I could end up owing them money.
Okay.
So it is a big bet. It's a dangerous bet.
Okay.
So I had the £600. So I think it was £6 5p.
Okay.
Something like that I put on. So for every point, like you see stock markets drop like fucking 100 points, 200 points. For every one of them points, if I'd bet the right way, I would get £6 5p.
Right, okay.
And I would not lose my stake or anything. I looked at it and I was starting to think, should I fucking do that? And I put a dead quick little stop loss on it, so if I lost a certain amount of money, it would sell. Mm-hmm. They are inaccurate because sometimes you can miss your stop loss and you can lose much more if it's gone fast enough. But I put a stop loss on there just in case. And I put the bet on for the Japanese stock market to fall.
Right, so you're thinking to yourself, you're not going to be able to put this bet on.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to be able to do that bet. I'm going to fail completely. And it just so happened that when it happened, it was dinner time in Tokyo. So hardly anybody had sold anything. They were all fucking about. Yeah. Not only that, arguably at the time, the East was having, generally speaking, no problems. They were having fucking booming stock markets, and there was no real shock watch for anything bad happening.
So they were at highs, record highs, would you say?
Yeah, the Nikkei was fucking nearly 10,000. It was dead high. It was really high, and so I was like, I'm never gonna fucking see. I put the bet on, and it went through. I was thinking, and I just, as soon as it happened, I thought to myself, why the fucking hell did I do that? I thought, bet this tsunami's like fuck all, and no one's gonna sell anything. And I was just sat there looking at it. It just went -10, plus £60. I was like, all right, fucking hell. And within the hour, I was fucking jizzing me pants because I was at £5,000 profit
for how much
in
bet?
An hour.
£6.
£6 bet, and I was like, oh fucking hell! Yeah. Fucking, I was breaking out in sweat.
What was you mate?
I was fucking shitting, and right at that point,
shit firing out your ass.
I just thought at that point, close, bang. £5,000 went into my fucking bank, just like that.
If you had left it open, how much more would you have won?
By the next day,
not
the day, the Tuesday day, so a whole 30 hours later, I worked it out. If I'd left that open, I'd have been at £28,000 profit.
Oh my fucking god!
But I don't necessarily regret it because I made that money and did the sensible thing.
Yeah, you did, mate. You did.
But then I thought to myself, you fucking dick, why didn't you put a fucking bet on the British one? Because if theirs falls that fast, ours is going to fall. Yeah. And did you see what ours did? It was the biggest fall we'd had since the recession on our stock market. And our stock market's stupid to bet on as well. But it was fucking good. I was really fucking happy with that.
Unbelievable. What a great story.
And the moral of the story, though, is don't fucking bet on the stock market because it can fucking go all over the bastard place. I bet anyone, there was probably someone sat there thinking, at the time, half an hour before, I'd put a bet. They'd seen all the analysts and gone, fucking hell, Japanese stock market, I think it'll be quite a good buy. I'll put £1,000 bet on that.
That'll go.
I'll go to sleep. Fuck off. There we go. Get up minus millions of pounds. Yeah. I just thought, I'd seen it happen where it was on a farting bet. It was like 60 quid a loss, something like that. Yeah. And I've seen it where my stop loss, let's say, for example, is 10 points.
Okay.
For example.
So you owe them. And
it's at 11 points currently. And I'm looking at it thinking, fucking hell, it's going to hit the stop loss and I'm going to lose a little bit of money. Only a little tiny bit. And then all of a sudden it's fucking bombed 6 in that second like that. Yeah. So I've gone to -5 on my stop loss. It's sold straight away. And then I've lost that margin as well as my stop loss. So it can jump.
Yeah.
BP when they opened that morning, there was somebody. Do you remember when BP had the Gulf of Mexico thing? When they opened after the fuck up, after you revised the oil barrels up to the amount of oil barrels leaking, they revised it up, and that fucking morning there was actually an article about it that somebody had a bet for BP to go up, right? And they had a stop loss on.
Yeah.
And they had the stop loss on, but the stock market fell that quick, that fast, before the computer could even register it. They lost £15 million.
Oh my God.
In that 2 seconds.
And they stuck with that debt?
Yes. Whoever the hell it was could probably afford it. It was a big bet. But for those 2 seconds of that stock market opening, before that computer could register that stop loss, that was how far it had fallen on his bet.
Imagine if you put a bet on it to lose, though. You would have been mega fucking bucks.
I made a little bit off the BP one as well.
Did you?
Nowhere near the Fukushima one, but it was a fair amount. But I haven't bet since because it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Could you imagine losing that type of money?
No.
You know,
you'd have to declare yourself bankrupt.
At least when you go in the fucking bookies, it's, fucking £100. Yeah, it's money you had.
Yeah.
You're just giving it away. It's gone. It's not fucking jumped out your bank account on you. Whereas that other stuff, all of a sudden, fucking hell, imagine getting that letter. You owe us £1 million.
You just declare yourself bankrupt like that, don't you?
You die.
It's immoral.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody's making a lot of money off it.
Fucking hell, it's tax-free. You fucking expect. People make a lot of money off the bet.
Imagine just making £5,000 just one morning.
I can't imagine it. I know it.
Yeah,
I still don't think it was real. I think it was made up. I don't think it happened.
What a great amount of money. And how it happened. How somebody was... Well, there's probably somebody sat there on his lunch eating his fucking noodles going, tsunami. Just sat at his computer. The guy who's supposed to fucking... is it all computer does it automatically, is it?
Vast majority of stock markets these days are automatic.
So you're sitting there thinking, holy shit, the fucking markets are dropping. Oh, stop trading, stop trading. Fucking sell. Fucking Declan Whiteside's made £5,000. Nobody else has made money. Damn you, Declan Whiteside.
Imagine if he's just gone for a piss at that moment.
He's gone for a shit right there. Fucking that's a good answer. Come back. I've got to go toilet again. Declan just won £5,000.
It's a bit of a complicated one. If you bet on stock markets, I say stock markets, if you're betting on a specific branch of stock market, like the FTSE, or the FTSE 100, FTSE 250, FTSE 500, if you're betting on them, even when the stock markets are open, all these supercomputers for banks and global stock market exchanges and stuff like that, they predict what it's going to be by morning.
Okay.
So overnight, right now, it's fucking 1:45 in the morning. Our stock markets aren't open till fucking 9.
Right.
I could go and put a bet now. Right now, there will be our stock market is currently moving up, down, up, down. Right now, it's not open though. It's just a computer predicting it.
Right.
So I can argue we make money off a computer predicting something.
Okay. That must be fucking manipulable.
But the second it dings 9 o'clock in the morning, anybody who knows what they're fucking doing can easily look at it and think, well, that's fucking wrong by about 60 points, that. Which means that at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning, it's going to go this way or that way, 60 points. They can argue, put a bet on just before it. Because then all of a sudden, the second it dings 9 o'clock, it's going to go, oh, right, prediction's wrong. That's how fast it moves. It's instantaneous.
Okay.
Anybody who's got an open bet at that point gets bummed by it or benefits from it.
Yeah.
There's no stop loss. There's no benefit. You get it. Doesn't matter what happens.
So when you put a bet on, is it open for as long as you have it open, or is
it's open as long as you have it open, or sometimes you put a limit on it, or a stop loss, or a time limit as well.
Right.
The different things. You have a limit on amount of profit, a stop loss on amount of loss you're willing to make, and how long you're willing to let it go for. And then at that point, it is going to sell. But like I said, there's fucking manipulation in it. And look at the fucking American stock market the other day. That crashed for fucking 4 hours. In this day and age, and all these computer age, these stock markets just all of a sudden, they might fail one day.
Yeah.
Now, I'll give the viewers another fucking story, which I'm sure I remember telling you about it. The betting part. Now, this is the thing that prompted me to stop betting on it. I'd done my £5,000 thing. I'd done my £2,000 thing on the BP. So I'd made £7,000 profit, whatever. I had £1,000 left in there. I'd moved stuff into the house and everything. I had £1,000 left. And I put open bets down on 2 banks. You know, I picked companies that were fucked. Companies that were on their ass. I picked RBS, Lloyds, Taylor Wimpey, which is a housing company, and a company called IMI, which is an engineering company, which was a bit on its ass at the time. And I put these 4 on little £250 bets. It was about £100 bet for each point they went up or down.
What did you bet on, down?
No, up.
Okay.
I bet on up because I didn't think they were going to go down at all.
Okay.
I'm sure I've told you this story.
No.
Now, for one of the first times ever known, the LSE had a mass computer failure that morning.
What?
The LSE, London Stock Exchange, had a mass computer failure.
Is this before or after Fukushima?
This is after.
Okay.
And I went to fucking bed. I'd been up fucking to 6:30 in the morning. I put these fucking bets on and I had them all there. I thought, oh fuck it, I'll just fucking leave them. I used to have a problem where I wanted to wait until the stock market opened to see how it was going. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to bed. So I jumped in fucking bed and went to sleep. Got up about 1:30 and thought, oh, I'll go and see what the fucking stock market's doing, and opened it up. Now there'd been this mass computer crash, and the stock market's gone back 6 years. They'd gone back in time 6 years. Because it had crashed, they'd just gone to a fallback, and the stock market had froze. You know, froze at like 5 years in the past, something like that. No one could buy or sell, so no one had made or gained on it or anything. So I got up and I went like that. F5. Bump, refreshed. My fucking account was £10 million.
You never told me this.
It was £10 million. Can you imagine how much of a brick I shat right there and then?
Well, so what do you mean, £10 million? Oh,
what it is, the thing was, it was no £10 million profit. It was at the fucking top, right? And it would say plus or minus on how much money you'd made. Yeah,
dude.
It would say how much money it was worth to get rid of it right there and then. Then a couple of lines down, it would have your 4 things, my 4 things.
Yeah.
How they performed, how they were performing. That's what it was. So I went at F5, and the first thing he did was looked at the profit part. I looked at that, and it's in pennies, by the way. So this is like 10, 9 zeros.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how big that looks?
No.
And on your profit, and I was like, wow, what the? I looked down. Froze. I fucking went on BBC, didn't I? And looked, and it was fucking froze back in time.
So what?
Not real. I was like, fucking hell. And I just thought to myself right there and then, that's how unpredictable it is.
Yeah.
That's how people make big money. That's how many people fucking lose big.
Oh my God.
And I just thought to myself right there and then.
So how did you come out with that then?
I couldn't sell them at all. And then they came back on about 3:00 in the afternoon. They moved about a bit. Because it had been down for most of the day, they didn't really move that much. So I just, right there and then, I thought, I'm shitting too much. Sell. Got rid. That was it. Off they went.
And what did you do? Make a loss?
I lost like 30 quid. Out of £1,000, you know. They barely moved. Yeah. I lost basically about my little charges for making a transaction. But after that, I couldn't do it anymore. It's just too risky. I think if I had, like a really fucking good spare bit of capital, I'd invest in shares. Because shares are much easier. You can lose all your money, arguably, but if you invest them right, you're not going to lose like that. You're not going to lose more than you put in.
If you'd recommend anything to look at the moment, what would they be? Would they be green energy or housing companies? Banks?
I wouldn't go for green energy. Housing companies, no. They're relying too much on buy-to-let.
What about rendering plants?
No, I wouldn't go that far. Okay. Definitely not. That's too reliant on abattoir industry, and abattoir industry is funny at times. Plus, you don't know what type of disease could possibly come out at some point.
Well, the fucking rendering plants are through the roof, aren't
they? You could say that. I don't necessarily think they've increased that much. They've just increased with output of material. They've just put up with an increase in the amount of food that we've started eating. Because now recently the meat has really started not improving, but the meat market has started improving. Maybe not for the farmers, but it's increased. It's got bigger and bigger and bigger as people are coming back to meet. You know, and just the livestock are getting better, getting bigger.
People are more educated, not eating that frozen processed shit. Because I used to eat that shit all the time.
Now
it's only fresh meat I buy. Arguably.
Who the fuck would I invest in? I wouldn't want to go near banks, even though they will benefit from the interest rate rise.
That's not coming about for a while. Don't ever fucking mention that on this podcast before 2015.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear interest rate rise before 2016. Mother. Fucker.
They're too dodgy. Gold's on his ass.
Yeah. I was saying that gold has risen recently, hasn't it?
Marginally.
Right.
It's still fucking $400 fucking dollars down from what it on its peak. And not that, it's only going one way but down.
Yeah, not if there's a war.
Yeah, well, that remains to be seen, doesn't it? I would probably say, in this country, engineering, BAE, IMI, whatever the hell the other engineering firms
You don't really know, do you?
No.
You wouldn't put money in them, would you, right now? Would you just bet on markets losing?
I would definitely put on IMI. Definitely. Probably not BAE.
Who's IMI again?
I can't remember what they stand for, but they're a big engineering firm.
Right.
Do lots of stainless steel and motors. And I think now it's prime time. BAE I wouldn't touch because I think they're going to suffer from government cuts of military budgets.
Again?
Well, everybody's... Don't forget, you might read in the paper the other month, so many billion military budget cuts or something like that. There's not that many cuts. That's how many cuts are happening over the next decade.
Right.
It's not necessarily that's going out instantly. It's happening over the next decade. So...
What you keep on looking at? You're freaking me out.
Your arm's bleeding. Oh,
God. Blood has been drawn on the Go Forth and Amplify podcast.
That's fucking the moth having a go at you before. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I think there's going to be lots of military cuts. Now, I know there definitely is in America. That won't really affect BAE because...
How much are they cutting off their military budget?
America? 1.2 billion by the end of the decade. 1.2 trillion, I should say, sorry.
I don't understand that. Can you Google what the American military budget is at the minute? I thought it was like 500 billion.
No, it's fucking way more than that. It's something like 30-odd% of their fucking GDP.
The American military budget cutting off 1.2 over the next 10 years.
7 years now.
7 years, that's going to massively...
And they still haven't fucking agreed what they're actually going to fucking cut, because they're dickheads.
Whatever happened to their tipping point? Remember, every so many months it was like, we're reaching the tipping point, we're reaching the...
It's kind of seemed to have stuck at the same fucking thing throughout fucking 3 months.
Because the debt is still going up. There it is, 664 billion.
Total spending, 683.7 billion of funding 2009 to 2010. Budget for 2011 prisons wages, overseas contingency operations brings some to 664.84 billion.
Go down. So how the fuck are they going to cut 1.7 trillion off it then?
Hang on one sec.
No wonder they've got 700 fucking drones. If that's the size of their fucking... They really could dominate the world, couldn't they, America, arguably? They really could literally dominate the world.
You are right, it's 682 billion for last year.
But you're telling me that's just wages, isn't it? Not infrastructure.
Yeah, there is certain things missing off that. That 1.2 trillion, though, might be...
I didn't know we were fourth in that list in the armed forces. Look at that, we're fourth.
I know we are.
Alright, we're only 60 billion. But that's a lot of fucking money being invested, being spent.
It's a lot of money being invested.
Is that including the 2 new supercraft aircraft carriers we're getting built? Is that included in
the military budgets always shift generally quite well, money-wise. We've always been fairly high up. But
France is behind Japan.
What I've just noticed with that, though...
Saudi Arabia. Holy shit. India? What?
Yeah, get this. I'm just looking at that. America spends more on military than the top 10... than the other top 10 in that together, all put together. So
and they spend nearly the least. They spend 2.5%. Oh no, they don't. They spend 4.4%. Well, yeah. Even so, in terms of fucking GDP, they're not spending anywhere near as much as China, are they?
Spending more than China.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're spending 2% of GDP.
Yeah,
America's spending 4%, which is double of China's GDP, but they're spending fucking 6 times as much.
Yeah, but don't forget their economy is much, much bigger. They're double the size economy of China.
Look at USA, the world top 5 military spend is 650. Holy shit!
I think, but like I said, United States on that list,
Saudi Arabia
has
India. India spends more on the military than Germany.
United States,
South Korea
spending 682 billion, which is more than China, Russia, UK, Japan, France, Saudi Arabia, India, Germany, Italy, and Brazil all put together.
What European countries are in the United Kingdom? France, Germany, Italy.
That's it.
4. And you said if the United States went to war with Europe would fucking hold its own.
Definitely, absolutely would.
Even still now,
Yes.
they've already got the infrastructure there. We would have to build that shit.
But this is what you need to remember: America maintains a army of
A standing army.
a standing army of 400,000, I believe.
Right.
For $682 billion.
World
We
share
have
100%.
We have a standing army of, it will be 82,000 after the military budget cuts, but that's before military budget cuts, remember.
Mm-hmm.
So we are getting an 82,000 standing army for 60 billion, which means that our army is 4 times more efficient than America's.
Wow.
And by the looks of it, France is even more efficient than that. China's is more efficient than everybody's. They've fucking got some stupid army. It's fucking huge.
North Korea isn't on there.
No, they won't, because you can't predict North Korea's,
No.
because there's no way to know at all what
Australia,
they spend.
Canada.
Not that if North Korea had the way, they'd be at the top there with about fucking 3.4 trillion zillion pounds.
Do you know what? It just proves how fucking chilled out Canada are. They bolted onto fucking America, and look at that, 22.5 billion. Does that include wages?
The spending. The main thing to remember is that when that says spending $1 billion, right? That's the military budget. It is not. It's the spending. It is bullets, weapons, tanks, overseas pay. Generally speaking, everything else that goes with that: technology, research, hardware. Satellites, arguably. Missiles, materials, the full works. The military budget for wages will not be in the
NATO, look at NATO.
I know.
Spending what's that? Nearly $1 trillion.
Yeah, look, there's the European Union there. Look at that. We spend that much stuff there, 1.7% of GDP, which is 3 times less than America. But but they're at 4.7%. Mm-hmm. So arguably, we do have a much more efficient military, but the entirety of Europe. But notice though, the top 4 in them were Northern Europe.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, sorry, that was a lie. 3 of them were Northern Europe, 1 was Southern, because Italy's Southern, obviously.
Spending $989 billion.
I'm sure America's got to cut 1.2 trillion over the next 10 years, and I can't remember for the fucking life of me what the details were on it.
Fucking Google it. You've got the technology in front of you.
Is
it overall just off the budget? 1.2 trillion off the budget?
It could be.
I know the American Air Force is cancelling a near Earth object program and saving $14 million, which in the scheme of a $17 trillion fucking debt, $14 million is the equivalent of me stopping smoking. That's the equivalent of me cutting out McDonald's.
Half the cuts will affect defence spending. That's what it is. They're not cutting the military budget, they're cutting defence spending, which is a different thing.
Is it?
The military budget, like I said, it's dodgy. It's very similar to China's. It's very fucking manipulable. They've probably got defence spending declared as not the military budget. You know, it's dodgy as fuck. Like China, now on that list then, theirs is 166 billion, something like that. There's maybe 166 billion on that list, but on their official documents, it is 120 billion. It gets revised. See, the problem is it gets revised. A lot of people who do the predictions for these, because China's is so fluffed about and messed around with, and they've got certain things missing, it's reduced. You know, it's reduced a fair amount on their own paper.
Right.
Now, it's because of trying to keep their growth up. You know, they don't want to declare so much money spent on it. Now, that's what they do. You know, they could say, like I said, it's a lot of their economic growth is, even though a lot of the world acknowledges it, a lot of it is bullshitty. They might build a fucking city and they declare this city is worth $5 billion. It might cost them 500 million to make, because they've cut back on everything. You know, they've got fucking buildings over there made out of fucking hardly any concrete in it at all. You know, I've seen fucking paper thin fucking motorways and everything fall through and all sorts. You know, that's how they've done it. You know, a lot of people have said that $600 billion of stimulus that they put in when the recession started. When the recession started, they had loads of money capital. They went, right, well, what we'll do is
build.
We'll build more. You know, start this economic stimulus so our stock markets don't fall and our growth doesn't come down. So 600 billion, boom.
Great idea.
You know, there's all that fucking money. Just fucking throw it into the economy, and they reckon that that's added approximately 1.1 trillion onto their GDP. They've made double on their paper. See, the
investment has paid off.
Well, not necessarily. That's the thing. It's a cheap. You know, it's like you giving me a budget right now to build. Let's say you gave me £10,000 and said, right, I want to build that car. Then I came back to you and built that car and said, oh, it only cost me £5,000. What cutbacks have I made to make that?
Right.
What effect has it had on that car? Will it be as fast? Will it be as good quality? Will it start falling to parts like fucking Jasper Carrot's fucking car? You know, will you have to fucking fit a horn on with a thing on it because the horn doesn't work? You know, you don't fucking know, do you?
Right.
And they've got a big problem in a lot of their new cities now of apartment buildings just going falling down just like that, because they built that fuck all.
Yeah.
You know, wow, look, there's a fucking £1 billion fucking apartment building. Woohoo! It costs us 20p. You know, plus their labour's so cheap within their own country as well. You know, it's just much cheaper. Everything's cheaper. It's all cheaper, but they can declare it down on paper as more expensive than it is. They can declare it down on paper as it's worth this, even though it only cost me this to make.
Right, it seems as though we spent an hour and 40 minutes on war and economics manipulated by war. Let's jump onto High Speed Rail 2. High Speed Rail 2 is the new rail network that the government are proposing, and it's estimated to cost £40 billion. Some analysts have said that it could run over by double, £80 billion. What the fuck is High Speed Rail 1?
What's High Speed Rail 1?
Yes.
I'm sure it was a network that connected a part of southwest Britain.
So it's the West
London.
Coast. Right. So it's not the West Coast main line,
I
right?
don't think so. I'm sure it's something to do with the southwest connecting to London somehow. Right. I'm sure it might go towards Cornwall and other places along them lines. I don't know for certain. I've never even looked at it, to be honest with you. I know that High Speed Rail 2 runs from fucking Manchester to fucking London. Now, High Speed Rail 2, brilliant idea. It is a fucking brilliant idea. You know, spend all this money, get the economy fucking growing using fucking government funding. You know, every time in the past that the governments have, you know, have started using the growth of an economy to fucking invest. You know, they've built motorways. That's what they've always done. Motorways. And now look at it. Let's face it. Even though it's a fucking shitty motorway system, you know, they're all fucked. You know, fucking you go down a motorway, it's nothing like an American motorway, is it?
Not really.
Have you been to Manchester recently? Fucking no, it's like fucking uphill. It's fucking up that on the fucking motorway.
The M6 is fucking
Yeah, the
Apart
M6.
from if there's crash, when I go to Scotland, mate, sometimes it's like I'm driving on marble. It's beautiful.
Yeah, the M6 is a high maintained motorway. I'm on
Isn't
about
it?
these motorways. The 62 is fucking shite.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
This 62 is badly fucking planned.
there's always a lot of every motorway that's ever been built, massive opposition all the time. It always went over budget. Do you reckon right now we could do without that motorway?
Absolutely not.
That's what I mean. So they're arguing the same thing with high speed rail too, which they could be right. You just don't know. The problem with something like that is that you don't know until it's too late. When you've already committed, you're building it. Now,
see, the thing is, £40 billion is an awful lot of money, but in terms of our GDP, it's not even 1%.
I know. It is. It's 1.6%.
It's 1.6% of our GDP.
Oh,
Our GDP.
well, actually, no. Sorry, I'm working out in dollars.
Yeah.
We're 1.1 trillion, something like that. Aren't we? I think something like that.
What it's going to do to local economies is going to be fucking amazing, isn't it? Imagine when that train line is coming, I don't know, 50 miles away from your town where you live. The amount of money, and it's going to need resources from absolutely fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
People are going to be working on it. All right, it's not going to be fucking thousands like it was in the 1800s when they started laying the tracks. But the amount of materials and shit people are going to need, cafes, fucking agencies, they're all going to be fucking booming.
Well,
supplies are going to be going. People are going to want to
to
move away. So
have you seen what they've said for the jobs? 100,000 jobs.
it's going to create 100,000 jobs.
It's going to create 100,000 jobs over the space of the line. To end with roughly 100,000 jobs on the line itself.
Oh,
wow.
That's brilliant. That really is.
Don't forget though, that is taking into account people working in London who may not work in London at the moment because they can't get there in time.
Yeah.
So it's all predictions.
So is that going to create 100,000 jobs? Is that also including the industry that's going to be supplying the flight?
It's also taking into account an increase in rail passengers. But they don't know what the original amount of rail passengers is going to be because it doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's all predictions.
And we'll get fucked for it. We'll pay for it twice. We'll pay for it in building it, and then we'll pay for it through the train tickets.
We will pay for building it.
They're pricing people off the trains, Declan. They're pricing people off the trains and into the cars. Bring back British Rail. Bring back British Rail, Declan.
Fuck, no way.
Why not?
Fucking hell.
Why not?
They were even worse than Network Rail.
What do you mean in terms of what? They weren't in terms of profit.
No, they weren't in terms
they
of
were
profit.
Making healthy profit, but we'll see when they said, we're going to raise train prices by 1.2. Now they're raising them yearly by about 8%.
I know. Now, the handy thing I have is
What shall we raise them by this year, gentlemen? Fuck it, let's raise them by 8%. No, let the cat decide. Let's put two sauces down, 8% and 12%, and put milk in both sauces. Which the cat can drink? This year it's 12%, and the cat drunk from the right saucer. Flick a coin up in the air, heads to tails, 9% this year.
I was actually reading.
We're going to reinvest the fucking raises in the infrastructure, and there's still people stuck on trains like fucking cattle going to the slaughterhouse.
Now, one of the main problems...
Stuck underneath a fat man's armpit.
One of the main problems, economic stimulus-wise, on the train tracks, is that it is not...
Better than printing money.
It is not area-related, right? Train tickets, arguably, for example, your Liverpool to Manchester main line might make a fucking fraction per passenger of what the London one does.
All right, concurred.
But 8% pay rise, 8% ticket rise, you pay 8% more on this line here. People in London pay 8% rise on a fucking line that's profitable as fuck.
Yes.
And a lot of people in these areas are going fucking mad.
Yeah.
Because down on paper, I'm sure I remember the recommended rise for the northwestern train lines last year would have been, if it had been not a country-wise thing, it had been an area-wise thing, 16% train ticket rise in this area, 3% rise in London, because of how profitable they are.
Yeah.
Because they all use trains, because they can't drive.
Yeah,
They can drive, but fucking get congestion charges shoved up the fucking ass.
And it's gridlock.
It's gridlocked. Shitloads of petrol. You've got to travel dead far because you all live fucking miles away from the centre of London. Otherwise, you've got to own £1 million house. Whereas up here, let's face fact, you and I, it costs a bit of money, but you could commute to Manchester or Liverpool no fucking problem.
No, you're right. Especially motorway
You know,
miles.
Even
Really fucking good.
It's a fucking brilliant motorway in terms of.
Do you know what, mate? It'd be cheaper for me to travel in and out of Manchester every single day than what it'd be for me to travel back and to work 5 days a week. Because my car will just drink the petrol doing that mile journey. Yeah. On the motorway, you'll fucking love it. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I use more fucking petrol going to work in a week than what I do to going to Scotland. Yeah. Honest to God, I really do.
I have a similar problem. But
do you know what? If I get this Focus, I picture myself getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. Do you know, like driving to Preston, getting the blood, driving back just to fucking drive the car.
When I first got my car, I fucking emptied the tank in 2 days. I literally just drove that way and decided as soon as I've halved my mileage, I'm going to turn around and come back home.
Wow!
And I managed to get it to like 33 miles to the gallon on my first tank. Because the first two couple of tanks always bum you.
So like, give me more. I'm a hungry
and I'm
car.
looking at it thinking 33, that's fucking dead good, because that micro did 20.
Oh, I would die.
And then now I'm on 44 when I'm driving well. If I drive like a twat, it fucking falls. But even then, it only falls to about 40.
One of the lads in work who drives a BMW, I was telling him about the Focus that I'm getting. He said it's like combined, it's 92 miles to the gallon, 82 for motorway mileage, and something like 60 around town. He said, you won't get that. You won't get that ever.
You won't.
So why the fuck did he print it then?
There's actually laws governing what they can put down on paper.
So you should fucking think so.
And
so is that driven at 50 mile an hour all the time?
For example, which
one
is
economical miles?
Which one is it that's motorway miles? Is it urban or extra urban?
Extra urban.
Extra urban. On the extra urban, do you know what they do to get that mile to the gallon figure?
50 mile an hour.
One, they don't do a start. They go 50 miles an hour. And the second that they're on 50 miles an hour, they reset it, right?
Okay.
And they'll do 50 miles an hour for something like 8 minutes. Then at the end of them 8 minutes, they accelerate to 70.
Yeah.
That's the miles per gallon for extra urban.
Really?
That figure that they get there, right? So there's no acceleration. The engine's already warm. It's a load of bullshit.
Yeah.
The general rule is deduct a third.
Yeah.
And that's what you're getting.
Really?
That's the general rule.
I reckon I'll be able to get fucking 80 miles to the gallon out of it easy.
Not for just to and back from work.
No, I'm not going to drive it back and to work. No way. No fucking way. I don't do it now.
See, it's different doing it on a Scottish journey of going 300,000 fucking miles to fucking Mount Olympus.
It's all uphill as well.
That's what it is. It's fucking miles away. It's uphill.
Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus has fallen.
The eco cars are good. They definitely are good. But
92 miles to the gallon.
92. It's all, the general rule is always deduct a third. Generally, maybe not so much on the extra urban. You deduct much less for extra urban, but combined wise, definitely deduct a third off combined for round town. And mine is more or less bang on a third what it says on paper. I'm supposed to get 65 miles to the gallon combined on that.
Yeah, but 44. It's still, the engine is still fucking basically new, isn't it?
6,500 miles now.
Oh, mate, fucking hell! You're not even had your first service yet.
I'll probably never have my first service.
If you change it.
Yeah, I'm going to change it.
So high speed rail 2.
High speed rail 2, yeah. Like I said, brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Loads of money going into the economy.
Mm-hmm. Better than just printing money and giving it to the banks.
Better
Great
than
jobs.
just printing money. But is it as good as investing that 40 billion in other stuff?
What about the existing network?
Existing networks, obviously.
Quoting what the rail manager of Manchester was saying, he said in the next 10 years that Manchester's going to run out of capacity. I don't understand what that means.
Well, the problem is, Manchester, there's no expansion room for their rail network. There just is not. Yeah. So it's a big, expensive do.
So what do you mean they'll run out of rail capacity?
Well, remember this. Now, I don't know when was the last time you got a train in Manchester.
Last time I got a train from Manchester would be... In Manchester would be 2000. Yeah. 2001, sorry.
Now, you can't really say it off us here at all. Manchester's temporary fix at the time was to put the tram lines in, which are free, by the way.
Are they?
Them tram lines are free, and they go anywhere within the city centre. So if you live anywhere near the city...
How did they pay for it?
It's just electric, isn't it? They're all electric.
Yeah, but you got maintenance of the trams.
Yeah, but...
You've got the wages of the people who drive it.
Yeah, but the amount that it would have cost them to rebuild Piccadilly in Oxford.
Piccadilly, not Piccadilly. That's a type of
I said
cheese.
Piccadilly.
I thought you said Piccadilly. We'll play that back.
Piccadilly. We will play that back, and you'll find I said
tweet
Piccadilly.
in at Brit Podcast at Diana was on there. Did he say Piccadilly?
Piccadilly in Oxford. They looked at. They were going to rebuild it.
Fucking hell, that was my computer. Then I'm shit myself.
They looked at it and they decided, it needs rebuilding. It needs re-infrastructure. Some of them have only got fucking 2 bastard lines, and the trains are going bam, bam, bam. They're all fucking coming in. You go Manchester now, and I went Manchester about fucking 5.5, 6 years ago before I could drive, and you get partway into Manchester now, and your train gets stopped at traffic lights because there's just too many trains.
Well, in 2001 it did.
Yeah.
2001 we were stopping at Oxford Road.
Now, apparently it's horrendous now. They literally have infrastructure issues all over the place. 1, they're aged. They're getting aged. 2, you've got a load of fucking train stations that are going to different fucking areas, and they're having increased capacity. Manchester's a big fucking growing area now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of fucking... I know London's having a big growth boom. But because of that growth boom...
Population growth.
Full stop. Everything growth in London. It's always been never-ending growth in London. Has been for years.
Yeah.
But that... You might have all that growth, but that is forcing people from London. That is forcing people who can't afford to live there, can't afford to work there. And a lot of them people are getting similar jobs up here at half the cost, but a fifth of the living expense.
Yeah.
So they're coming up here. Not necessarily just Manchester, fucking others as well, Birmingham.
They're
Liverpool.
financially better off for doing a less paid job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not only that, I can imagine that fucking doing the commute in London anyway is stressful as fuck. I reckon.
I wonder how much a tram is a day, or the tube is a day to do. Don't know, 5 miles. Can you imagine? Imagine paying £10 a day.
They have a coloured system. They have different tickets for different train fares and different areas and going through different areas. And a lot of people buy season passes. Now I know
they're like £2,000 though, aren't they? Some of the season passes.
I know, to be able to get the subway to anywhere in London as many times as you want, whenever you want, whenever it's running, full stop, is £1,200 just for the subway. You can't go on a train. Gotta be a subway. Can't use buses either. So if the fucking subway's down, you're bummed. Yeah. Which arguably £1,200, £100 a month. While it seems a lot to us, fucking somebody earning 40 odd, 45 grand a year, it's fuck all. Imagine how much they fucking spend in petrol on doing it. Or congestion charges for that matter. But like I said, so there's a lot of people coming up here, and Manchester's train line is going to get done. Lime Street's doesn't have that much of a problem. They've got a lot of expansion room in Lime Street. Is Liverpool, for any viewers who don't know. Lime Street is Liverpool. They don't have that much of a problem. They've got Lime Street. One way it's in a part. It's
got a subway as well.
Yeah, they have. I didn't know that until a few years ago.
I think it's called Chester Street Station. Something like that runs up to Chester.
They've got expansion room one way, and expansion room the other way, and it's fucking, what is it, 8 lines? Something like that. 10. Something like that. They've got expansion room there. Not only that, if they really, really needed to, they could make those platforms smaller and get a few more train lines in. Yeah. They've got plenty of fucking room.
Oh, no.
They're fucking set. I'm sure they fucking did a review, and they've got they're set for like 30 odd years at least before they have to it.
It's crazy that the unemployment in Liverpool is so fucking high as well. It's one of the most highly unemployable areas in the northwest.
Manchester now, it's all expensive within that area.
Well, they got Media City there now, isn't it? Manchester's just going to be the London of the northwest.
Not only that, all the fucking train stations, they're all fucking up in the air. I know they're generally all up in the air because the fucking, it's the only place they could really put them.
Yeah.
But now, how the fuck do you fucking expand a train station that's up there?
You can't.
You got to
monorail.
You got to knock down.
Monorail.
You got to knock down fucking roads and flats and houses, and then all of a sudden you look at a block of flats and it's worth fucking, £100 million, stuff like that.
Are we expecting to see CPOs then through the high speed rail too? Compulsory purchase orders where the government just say, no, that's ours now. There's £100,000 for your house.
I'll definitely expect so.
They're going to do that with Heathrow, aren't they? They've put CPOs in like a really historical village to expand Heathrow Airport. Yeah. And this is like a really historical, lovely little village, and that's where the airport's going to go. So how did they do that? The CPO, compulsory purchase order. The government has got the right to build on any land, whether you own it or not. Did they give you the value of the land, or are they always going in a little bit cheaper than what it is?
No, they generally do actually have to come in at just over.
Right.
Just over. But
they need to do a CPO on my fucking house. They build that with this Mersey Gateway. We keep on getting letters from solicitors saying the value of your house could be affected by the Mersey multimodal gateway.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? If it could drop. No, I've seen where they're building this. They've bought the Catalyst trading park there, the railway bridge as well. That's pretty fucking close to my house. Am I literally going to have cars? But I can't understand where it's going to go. Is it going to build through Spike Island?
They've only put down the plans for the bridge so far. They've not put down
the route.
They've not officially said where the route's going to be.
The bridge is stretching from Fiddler's Ferry. That's what I don't understand.
The problem is, though, the bridge is bent. You could have a bridge that could be stretching towards Fiddler's Ferry. But when it bends, it could end up fucking all the way down to you.
Yeah.
Fiddler's Ferry isn't that far, really, from you.
Yeah, 3 miles.
It's just up the cut. I know what I'm on about as the crow flies.
Oh, yeah, it's a mile.
We're at the crow flies for the bridge.
It's a mile.
And the bridge is like an S, you know. Now, fucking pretty much all of our viewers aren't going to have a fucking clue what we're talking about for this one.
Basically, in Halton, there's a bridge called the Halton Bridge. It's passionately referred to as the Runcorn Bridge, sometimes the Runcorn Widnes Bridge. When it was originally built in the 60s, it was designed to take approximately between 80 and 100,000 cars a week. Now it's doing that a day. There's constant maintenance on it all the fucking time, either painting the bridge, widening the lanes, I don't know how the fuck they do that, reducing the speed limit on the... whenever there's a crash, it just takes one fucking crash, one fuck up, and the bridge is...
the entire northwest comes to a fucking standstill.
Very, very close to
in Widnes.
Yeah, anybody trying to get into Widnes and into Runcorn, basically, you cannot get out. We tried to get back. Me and my wife, Mrs. Burrows, went for a meal in Delamere, or Hatchmere, just through Delamere it was, at 3 o'clock, and we left at 4 o'clock, trying to get back into Widnes for 5 o'clock to pick my son up from his daycare. We got to... Where did we get to now? We was going down the expressway. Do you know where you come back from the cinema and you go around that massive roundabout and you go onto the expressway and you stay on it and you take a left on, you can take a right to Warrington and a left to fucking to Widnes and the Runcorn Bridge.
Yeah.
Well, that was backed up to... As soon as you go onto that expressway, it was backed up there, right? And the lane on the right-hand side was free. So we got on the right-hand side, because I said to the girl, we just go fucking through Warrington, right, and try and fucking cut it off. So we got on the right-hand side. So every cunt in the world who was going to Widnes was getting in the right-hand side, driving as far down as they can, and then jumping into a little gap.
Yeah.
So we were stuck there for about 20 minutes where everybody was bullying the way in. And I thought, right, we'll go through fucking Warrington. Well... We weren't the only people in the northwest who had that fucking same idea. So we was queuing up from... where was we queuing up from? We was queuing up from very close to where the Daresbury laboratory is. Unfucking believable. So just because of congestion and roadworks on the Runcorn Widnes Bridge, it must have put very easily 10,000 cars out. Do you know what I mean? Maybe not that much. An awful lot of cars out. And it took us 2.5 hours to get back from Runcorn, which is a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mile journey, right? One councillor got stuck in traffic on a bank holiday Monday going over the bridge. He's not a councillor anymore. He used to be a councillor. He's now an MP. His name's Derek Twigg. And he got stuck on the Runcorn Widnes Bridge on the bank holiday, and he was one of the powerhouses behind going into Parliament and saying, "Didn't need a fucking bridge. I didn't make it to my important meeting." So the government agreed. The Labour government agreed to release about, I think it was £380 million to build a second bridge, which could potentially cause one bridge to be one way. Did you hear that?
They're actually, the plan is now officially one bridge goes one way, one bridge goes the other.
Really?
That's the official plan.
Holy shit.
4 lanes each bridge.
Yeah, I believe one lane's going to be emergency lane as well.
Yes.
Holy shit. The area needs this type of bridge. I mean, this bridge is Goliath. It's a fucking massive bridge. It's an engineering fucking marvel as well. What it's going to do to the local economy is it will be excellent what it's doing to the local economy.
There's a lad that I know who worked originally on the M62 getting built, and his dad worked on the bridge that's there now.
Yeah.
And he said the money, even though it only lasts a few years, he said it's fucking phenomenal. It's fucking brilliant because it's so
dangerous.
Not necessarily because it's so dangerous, but because it is going to end they've got to pay you a load of money to avoid redundancy. They've got to pay you a certain amount of money so you will never get redundancy when it finishes, as it will. So you get a good money for a good few years, but then all of a sudden you're out of a job. But they do need that. Now I've had a few theories on it. Now it is going to be anywhere, in my opinion, that road is going to touch down.
It's 1:30 in the morning.
I know.
Can you believe it? It's still going strong. It's still alright to carry on.
Yeah, I'm sound.
Go on.
They're going to that bridge is going to touch down on our side, anywhere between the what's it called? You know where the old train line is near the cut.
Yeah, the Waterloo Bridge, a little fighty one.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
near the Brewers Fair.
Yeah.
It's going to touch down anywhere between there and your house, somewhere in between that. Because right there, you look, everything's been bought. Everything in that entire fucking area is gone. It's all been fucking bought, bulldozed, flattened, gone. The only thing that's left is a factory bang in the middle, which means it's either going to come in on the other side of that factory away from you, or the side of that factory close to you, which is going to put it right on your fucking doorstep. And that's the only two ways that it's going to happen. Now, like you said, the Catalyst estate's been bought.
Yeah.
That's gone. So that's having something done there. Now, the main thing is...
They're on about putting £100 million marina down by the arse of the West Bank as well, you know. That's what we need. £100 million.
That arguably means you could have it coming in over there and having a ring road system. Having it come there.
What's it going to do to Spike Island? Because it's going through the Catalyst trading estate. That means that the lock that there is now is going to be underneath the bridge.
Not necessarily.
I don't understand it.
What I'm saying is,
don't forget, the Catalyst Museum is right next to our house. So what they're going to do? Build it. They're going to knock down the Catalyst Museum.
My theory is that they are going to have a ring road system. Right?
Okay.
Now, I don't know where the bridge is going to take off in Runcorn, but I reckon the bridge is going to come across. It's going to come down at the whatever the hell the retail park's called, the new retail park with the cinema on it. I reckon it's going to touch down there. I reckon it's going to become a certain amount of lanes. It's going to turn. It's going to go up through past that retail park between B&M, the Carvery. I reckon it's going to join onto that there. You know, road there through a 3-lane system, something like that, and follow it all the way down.
I've seen the plans, mate, and the fucking the bridge is starting around there. Around near Fiddler's Ferry power station. Do you know what the golf course is there?
Yeah.
There's a road in between the power station, maybe not that far out, the power station and do you know that's Category 2 prison they've got? The in between there, I believe the bridge is going to start there.
What that part I'm saying there's only a couple of 100 yards up the road.
Right.
They're
not going to build through that new fucking training estate. The Brewers Fair, they've just built a new fucking pets at home.
No, what I'm saying is not through that. There's more than enough space there for a fucking 3-laner going all the way up, and that road does need doing. You get stuck in traffic on that little fucking 1 lane. You're fucked. You know, it's the traffic light goes for 3 cars each time. I always turn right because I can go home that way.
Yeah.
Not a problem, but other people can't. You couldn't.
No.
It'd probably be quicker for you to do that anyway.
Sometimes it's quicker for me to go through Farmworth.
But I genuinely reckon it's going to end up being a ring road system similar, where it's going to come down through there, straight all the way through, round, linking up onto that road.
So give us dimensions again. Give us locations.
Whereabouts that Grade 2 prison is.
Yeah.
I reckon it's going to come down a bit further along than that.
So what side's with the prison on?
Sorry?
I'm driving my car now.
You know where the... Where the fuck is it?
Gorsey Lane.
Down near Gauzy Lane.
Right.
Towards the end of Gauzy Lane.
Okay.
Where the chemical yards are. That have just been knocked down.
Yeah.
Right there, I reckon it's going to come down there. I reckon it's going to come down there. It's going to go off and it's going to make it all the way up to link back up onto the road near the cinema. Somewhere around that area. Either way, I don't really know. Then follow it all the way up to the Runcorn Bridge. Back over the bridge. and then I think it'll link. I don't know. I have a clue about the Runcorn side because I don't have a fucking clue what Runcorn even looks like. But I reckon it'll link up over there, and that'll be your ring road system. Now, that's what I reckon. Now, there is other things that have been bought for it, and I can't remember where they are, but there's quite a few things that have been bought for the bridge building. There's a fair whack.
Carry on.
Now, as regards to how it's going to look down your area, I do not know. But for that type of money, they're going to rebuild everything. But that road down near yours, the one lane that we use to get to and from work, that's going to have to be widened. Definitely.
The one lane that we used to get to and from work?
The one that we fucking used to go back to from work? Outside thingies.
Fallon Brothers.
Yeah. That needs fucking widening. Let's face facts. That will never take that amount of traffic.
Well, that road there down by Fallon Brothers, that... Very, very few traffic use that to get access to the bridge. Everybody uses the access near McDonald's.
If that bridge is coming down anywhere near there, though, and the Catalyst Museum's involved in that, there's going to be much more traffic there then.
I can't see it. I can't see it because it leads nowhere. Everybody's still going to use the McDonald's route.
Not necessarily. Because they bought that Catalyst estate, and they can quite easily, with that Catalyst estate, they must have bought it for a reason. And they can quite easily jump on it.
It's a fucking massive estate.
I know it is. They could arguably link that up onto that road and make it a much bigger thing going up onto fucking the motorway.
Yeah.
Not only that, Stobart has been pushing for this bridge himself. He's going to have a part in that.
What I can't get is where the Catalyst trading estate is. You've literally got the 557 coming from Runcorn. What? That vibrating?
Looking for my phone.
Don't worry about it.
I reckon there is going to be something there. There's going to have to be something there.
It's got the flyover. It's got the railway tracks. Right at the back of the Catalyst trading estate is the canal. What's that called now? It's called the St. Anne's Canal, that,
I know.
I didn't fucking know that until I moved in. The St. Anne's fucking Canal.
Even though it goes nowhere in St. Helens.
I know. So I really cannot understand how they're going to do it without seriously affecting the rail bridge and the 557 that links Runcorn and Widnes together. What links Widnes going out to Warrington and what links Widnes going out to Runcorn? Well, I can't understand why they've bought
what
that.
I'm saying though is, for that amount of money, they're just going to rebuild everything.
Let's see it. We'll see if we can pull up the plans for the Runcorn Widnes Bridge. I think it's going to be a good mile away from that estate. I can't understand why they've bought it. I also heard that Fallon Brothers have been bought out as well by the Mersey
they've gone.
Gaming. Well, that's fucking even further away from.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
spelled
that
Widnes horrifically wrong. Wideness.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wideness. What are they calling it? Mute.
For fuck's sake, I can't fucking see fuck all with this fucking keyboard.
Declan has battered his keyboard that much searching for different types of porn. He's used every letter multiply on his keyboard, and now his keyboard keys literally the digits have been rubbed off.
The keys never had digits in the first place.
Why the fuck did you buy it?
Why the fuck did I buy it? 'Cause it was fucking one of the best keyboards there was at the time.
It's
Dead low key.
retarded. Is the even fucking braille on there?
Right, hang on. Yeah, here you go.
Here we go.
Bang on where I said it was. Bang on.
So why the fuck have they built the Mersey Muzzle?
Yeah, look.
Oh, you fucking
retard.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, look.
This is going to be awful now for people who are watching on Ustream or listening back on iTunes. Basically, we're looking at merseygateway.co.uk. It's the project map.
Yeah, it's going to be a ring road.
Can you zoom in?
I can. Hang on.
Of course you can. I can go to the...
Retarded Chrome. Who the fuck takes out the option to fucking zoom in using your mouse button?
Chrome. Now you see, right, that's exactly it, right. My housing estate is here.
Yeah.
Right, that's where my housing estate, the trading park's here. Fallon Brothers is there.
Mm-hmm.
So why the fuck have the Mersey Multimodal Gateway basically bought
Right, well, straight
everything
away,
here?
Straight away, there's a lane widening for that road that I just said.
Okay.
Up to Fallon Brothers anyway.
Yeah.
As to the rest of it, I don't fucking know.
I'm not even gonna fucking see it from my house.
Right. Now here, see that right here?
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Is that where Tesco is there on the other side of that?
Tesco's on the other side over here.
Yeah.
Right here, that is the cinema estate.
Yeah.
That's the new cinema estate right here.
Yeah.
So it's coming right in there, behind it, like I said.
Okay.
All that land there has already been bought
Yeah.
and knocked down.
Uh-huh.
And there's a train line there.
Yeah, that's right.
That's going to go straight over that. And like I said, it's going to go fucking straight up here. It's going to link up back to the up the Birkenhead Road towards the bridge.
It's not a fucking S like you said it was going to be. It's a fucking straight fucking line.
The
Massive fucking infrastructure changes in Runcorn there, isn't he?
yeah, but
Look at what the fuck are they doing in Runcorn? They've made an ovary. The satellite image is an ovary. Oh
Yeah.
my god. It's the end of the... What the fuck are they doing to Runcorn?
See, the handy thing with Runcorn though is that they can build it for fuck all.
I know, yeah, because Runcorn,
On
like the
Ron's
rest of the
ass.
UK, was built in about 17 hours. It's a concrete city, Runcorn, so they're just
I know.
going to put more fucking concrete
It
there.
looks like they've just placed big slabs of concrete and built a house inside them. You know, like alien spaceship sized slabs
Yeah.
of concrete.
Right, let me think now. Right, that's the cut there. So there's a bridge there. That's the massive field. That's the walk round. That's the path. This is where everybody fish along here. Yeah, fucking miles away. Miles and miles away. That's the power station there, isn't it?
Yep.
Tell by all the fucking... Oh, no, it's not. That's Gorsey Lane, that, isn't it?
Gauzy Lane
That'll be
is...
Gorsey Lane. Defiantly. Not unless that's it there. Oh, yeah, there's the cinema. That's the road there by the cinema.
Mhm.
That's Gorsey Lane, eh?
Yep. Yeah, that's Gauzy Lane, definitely.
So why the fuck am I getting letters living there saying that the bridge may affect my house? That's fucking millions. I'm closer to the current Runcorn Widnes Bridge, which is noisy as fuck at night, than I will be to that. Apparently, this estate here will be getting passes, residence passes,
Yeah.
for that bridge if they do ever toll it. This has been one of my most enjoyable podcasts, man.
Right, see that there's Ashway there, right? Which means that is going straight over where...
That water treatment place is.
No. That is going straight over... Let's say you're at the Ashley Way lights, right? And you're looking up the road towards McDonald's.
Yeah.
And you've got a right turn that goes up towards the Doctor's Pub.
Yeah.
That's bang on an angle straight through that. Right, if you look at the two roads like that. I know, if you look at the two roads like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
right in the middle there, that
Yeah.
looks like it's going straight over.
So what the fuck is this then? I take it the Unicorn Gallery's around here somewhere, is it?
Yeah, it
And
is.
the-
Yeah, the Unicorn
Ruffle-
Gallery
They got
is right.
down the Ruffle.
Unicorn Gallery is right there on that little corner there.
So all those... Hang on a second, these fucking houses there, pretty new houses.
And
The Queen's Hall's gone.
well, that's the new houses are there in that little thing here.
Right.
See there?
Oh, yeah.
By the looks of it, that loops back. And that's Bottom Kingsway there.
Yeah.
See? So I reckon that is bang on. That's right on that junction at Ashley Way, right there in the middle.
Where's Morrison? Where's Tesco on that fucking map?
Tesco. If you go all the way, where the fuck am I going here
Where's
now?
the 557?
Right, there's the 557, which comes down here, right?
Yeah.
That's all the way it comes down. And then see that? That's where,
The island is.
right here, that's where the Tesco's like there, basically.
Yeah.
See where that little thing is? Tesco's right here.
Right.
I might use my mouse cursor. I've got a mouse cursor. Tesco's right here. And then that is where the new Ashley Way
Right.
arguably starts and then changes and goes fucking completely tits up.
Mm.
You can't see exactly how it does because it's fucking shite quality. But the basic gist of that is that literally you can drive around. That's like I know it's a big ring road, but you can drive all the way down that and go back onto that and come back up. You know, you can tell it's going to be designed to be one-way system.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Well, it's definitely been designed to encourage the flow of traffic, at least, hasn't
Yeah.
it? You couldn't get more simple. Apart from when you get into Runcorn, just go back to that looks like somebody's made a mistake and tried to fucking draw the lines again. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Again, if you want to go onto merseygateway.co.uk,
but
to Liverpool, Stobart Stadium.
now, arguably, that is going to be a big fucking economic stimulus for the area.
Why have they bought Fallon Brothers and why have they bought the Catalyst Trading Estate when the Catalyst Trading Estate is fucking there? There's nothing fucking there.
Well, like I said, the main thing is they are going to need an area to store the materials. Have you seen the sizes of the pieces of that fucking bridge? They are fucking humongous.
I wonder how many people are going to die, man.
These bridges, I don't know if you've seen them built in fucking America or anything like that, they come in pieces. They come in 4-lane pieces. You know, they're fucking huge.
Yeah.
They have to float them there and raise them. Wow.
It always amazes me how the fuck they manage to build
Runcorn Bridge.
not just the Runcorn Bridge, because the Runcorn Bridge don't have any fucking pillars in the Mersey, but the rail bridge next to it has brick fucking pillars in the Mersey. Yeah. How was that not collapsed? Mm-hmm. How the fuck did they manage to dig down why the tide was in or why the tide was out? How far down does those foundations go that's in the Mersey?
Oh, yeah.
Have they gone down to bedrock? How did they do that in fucking 1850? That is an engineering marvel. That railway bridge always fucking takes my breath away.
As far as that.
Well, it's some fucking design engineering. They've got bricks in the Mersey. Bricks in the Mersey, which is a sand fucking bed base. Yep. You could go down for 1,000 years and still be fucking digging sand.
Yep.
Have a look if there's any pictures of them building the rail bridge. If there is, I'm gonna jizz in my pants.
Don't have pictures of that from 1850.
You never know.
Fine, whatever.
And you're listening to History in the Go Forth and Amplify podcast.
You don't have a fucking clue what we're talking about.
The Global Unification Network. Go to gu-network.com for an alternative look at world
Witness
news.
Railway bridge
Construction. You are retarded. You are retarded when you come to searches. You like put the search in fucking crypt. You put just like keywords in: bridge, build, witness, search. Construction.
There's the old transporter bridge anyway. Imagine having to fucking use that years ago.
No.
Alright. No, it's fuck all that.
Rail bridge type out way. Nobody calls it railway.
A lot of good that did.
Oh, wow. How the fuck did they build that in the Mersey, man? I'm sure I saw the photograph, right?
1891 it was built.
I'm sure I seen a photograph, and around the pillars they've literally put in like a watertight ring around it. Mm-hmm. So while the tide was in, they were still managing to dig down. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Amazing.
I wouldn't want that fucking job. No. Imagine if that fucking thing collapsed with you down there.
Not for 2 and 6 a fucking hour.
For those of you who don't know what 2 and 6 is, it's fucking the ancient English fucking currency that our mothers and fathers used.
It's amazing. Apparently it cost like £28,000 to build as well. Something ridiculous like that. They couldn't build any fucking rail bridge for 28 grand. All right, back in the day it was probably about £3 or £4 million, the equivalent now with inflation and all that bollocks. Elsie Molyneux, you rich motherfucker.
Yeah.
How many people died?
Yeah, well.
How many people do you reckon will die in building this new fucking bridge?
In this new one? Well, probably a few, I suspect.
I know we're talking about bridges, but you've seen that bridge in France that's higher than the clouds.
Oh, yeah, I have.
What are you looking for? You still looking for your phone?
I can't remember what the fuck it is.
Do you want me to ring it?
It's alright, there's no point, it's on silent.
It's not on vibrate.
I just can't fucking remember where the fuck it is. I reckon you've covered it up by accident.
Declan Whiteside is now looking for his phone on the Go Forth and Amplify podcast, brought to you by the Global Unification Network. We'll find it when we wrap up. I hope it's not fell out the window like me fucking MiFi did before.
No, I don't think it will have.
I know we were talking about. Oh yeah, the bridge in France. Have you seen it? That is amazing. The columns are...
The ridiculously high one.
Oh my god, yeah. The columns start from like 8 feet, and there's something ridiculous, like 200 or 300 feet, the columns, you know what I mean? And I can remember, what's his name? What was the president called? The small fucking dude before Hollande?
Thingy.
Sarkozy said, announcement to the whole of the world when he opened this bridge. This is a France engineering marvel, and the fucking architect was British. Have that for you, son. And this is bridges. Why don't you come into shot, Declan? Because you're talking about bridges and you don't want to be fucking part of it.
Fucking, I just seem to fucking make my way across the fucking bedroom.
But don't you ever call the studio a bedroom ever again. This is the nerve centre.
This is my third bedroom in my house. There's no way of just
it's an office.
Denying that.
It's a recording zone.
I was going to say something, I can't remember what the fuck it was.
Words.
People do fucking parachuting off that. You can do parachuting off that bridge. You can pay
it's
to parachute
fucking
off
high enough. Imagine driving higher than the clouds.
Imagine
driving. Why there's a thunder and lightning storm.
That fucking shit.
Underneath you.
Apparently that fucking bridge moves like fuck.
In wind.
You know, in wind. Apparently it's fucking scary.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, it's going to be very close to a jet stream up there, isn't it? The crane in work is 100 feet high, and that fucking thing moves around when there's very little wind on the ground. Yeah. I watch it sometimes. Do you remember when we had that thunderstorm in work? Mm-hmm. Well, I never told you this. That crane got fucking struck by lightning, right? And I was convinced that was the reason why it was fucking moving around. I remember radioing the team leader, and fucking the team leader of the BFB said, pretty windy up there, Ben. You wasn't on, was you?
I suspect that'll be on. I suspect that'll have been on a Sunday night. If you contacted the BFB team leader.
No, I contacted Andy.
All right.
You was off. You had holidays recently.
I've had nearly all my holidays this year.
September, not September. July. Oh yeah, it was download for your birthday.
June,
yeah. That's why you were something over there. Right, let's jump onto immigration. Jamie Oliver said something that I really agreed with. He said that the youth of the United Kingdom is put to shame by the work ethic of immigrants in that are working in the UK at the moment, and it's immigrants who are happy to work for minimum wage. They don't expect to be on a fantastic wage, and they have this great ethic of that. They want to work, and as long as that they have that ethic, there's nothing wrong with immigration, because our youth aren't going to be filling the waitresses jobs or the really minimum wage and like sweeping up shitty jobs, and they're not going to. I can understand they don't want to do it because there's money shit, and it's not really. I'm going to get my home fucking house type of money. Do you know what I mean? But the entitlement, the jobs are there. I know you don't really want to work in it, but it's absolutely right. It's just for. Has that always been the thing? That I'm boring you now. We're on to immigration, Declan.
Yawning doesn't mean you're bored.
I know you keep on saying this every fucking podcast. 2 hours and 20 minutes.
I've always agreed with that on a fair amount.
Has immigration just always took the lowest paid jobs, or majority throughout time?
Generally, it's always been a fairly undercutting thing. But it has always ended up benefiting in the long run. Maybe not so much to the extent that we've had. I think the piss has been took a little bit with the amount of people, but
it's the amount of illegal people working.
Yeah. But generally speaking, the job, like you said, the jobs are out there. It's just people won't go for them. Now I remember.
Why doesn't the government pay for Category 1 licences? Because the Cat 1 driver, the articulated lorries, the Class 1 lorry drivers, right? There's a national fucking shortfall of Class 1 lorry drivers, right? There's never been, alright, you can argue that there's never been 100% fulfilment in any industry, but there's always Class 1 jobs en masse. There's always a shortfall. Companies are always crying out for Class 1 drivers. They've got a scheme at the moment where they pay for CIS cards, right, just to become security guards. They do that because it's an investment that gets people off the dole and into work quite easily. Big sector of the security industry. All right, that's only costing £360 to Class 1 licence, £2,000, something like that.
About 1,200 something.
Or
like that.
£1,200, right?
If you pass.
And there's a lot of fucking jobs out there that need filling for Class 1 drivers if you pass. They need to start fucking investing in that massively.
I think one of the main things...
That's fucking cameras focused out.
One of the main things immigration-wise... You're howling towards the camera, Ben.
The camera's focused out for
I don't think it will have. It's on thingy standard focus. Should have stayed at the same focus. But anyway, the main thing is that generally speaking, a lot of them do work. For fuck all, and they will work, and a lot of them do work. They really do work. But now people cry saying, "Oh, 1 million 18 to 24-year-olds out of work, blah blah blah."
A million.
Cry.
A million.
But
when you think about
this is the problem. A lot of people who are my age or less, the work snobs.
I'm a work snob.
They've all been to fucking college. Quite a few have been to uni, and they all reckon, they just seem that because they've done that,
I should be doing this job.
I should be doing, I should have this easy job. And this is one of the main problems, in my opinion. A lot of them have been brought up, just like I was, which was that, oh yeah, you go to school, you go to college, you go to fucking university, you do all that stuff, and you get a dead good job because you're intelligent. And there's that many people with these qualifications. People are getting them in interviews and going, graduate, don't want him, inexperienced. Graduate, nah, fuck off, don't want him.
Well, yeah, that seemed to be the trend for a long time. But now certain industries are going, get him as a graduate, he'll be a yes man.
Yeah,
he doesn't know anything different. He doesn't know how to play the game. Get him a graduate.
They've got to be, for generally speaking, government jobs that need the rules following.
Jobs for the boys.
But this is one of the main things. Now, I've always wondered at myself, and I remember watching a few programs a few years ago that was like pro-immigration, and the local area, it wasn't a big town. There was loads of jobs going, literally, and all the job was, no shit, was you turn up in a fucking field and you pick potatoes. They were out of the ground. You just picked them up and threw it in a bucket, right?
What was the wage in that? Was it an actual...
It was minimum wage at the time.
And that's what the job was?
Literally, it was fucking in the middle of summer as well. Wow. Right? And that was literally your job, potato. Picking up potatoes and putting them in this fucking... the tractor that was following you. And this, whatever it was, this farm, it was cheaper to do this at minimum wage and just smash out a field with like 20 people in one day than it was to have the machinery. And then he had all sorts of other ones, like fucking strawberries and other fucking jobs, all picking by hand. And in the local area, they asked all these people that had been on the dole queue that day, would you pick fruit? Would you go to that job? Would you go to that job? That job's up in that window. It was always there. Would you go for that? Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Why not? Oh, well, it's just a shit job, isn't it? That's all people fucking see. And a lot of them were fairly similar to my age.
But if it was £300 a week, would they do it?
I don't know.
I would, mate. If somebody paid me £1,000 a week to shovel shit from one corner and put it in the other corner,
yep,
I would do it with a smile
on
my face. I would be shoveling shit all day. On saying that, I've had the work ethic that if the money's right, I would shovel shit.
Yep.
Now, in the plaza, the money's right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. But now, when I went to download, one of the lads was there. He said he'd been unemployed for 2.5 years. He'd just finished uni. He'd been unemployed for 2.5 years. He couldn't get a job even when he was at uni. Now, he passed some stupid fucking degree. It was in something shit. Something like photography. He's never even picked the camera up in his life.
That's a massive problem, that, isn't it? People doing performing arts degrees or art degrees and they're coming out and going, nobody's employing me, but
anyway, right. And then he was saying to one of the lads, now there was a lad that were there. Now, there's quite a few of us, all similar age, with not jobs, with careers. Because that's arguably what we've got. We're fucking so many years in now. We've got our redundancy there. We're going to be lifers unless we get fucking made redundant, basically.
All the robots to replace us.
And there's quite a few
That's
of
the way
us.
I look at it.
There's quite a few of us. And
very lucky.
Literally,
very lucky.
There was 4 of us, I think there was, in total, who have shift jobs.
Yeah.
Nobody else there has an 8 to 5 job.
Where?
One girl had, out of all of us.
Oh, okay.
One girl had an 8 to 5 job,
9 to
which was
5.
an office,
Yeah.
which was an office job, in a school. You know, it's okay money, whatever. It wasn't amazing. And us four, he was talking to us on. He's like, "Oh, how much money are you on?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, Jaguar worker, Getrag worker, Network Rail, unnamed company me."
Let's call it biopower.
Yeah, biopower. And he was going, "Oh, how much do you earn?" He was like, and the Ford worker was like, "Oh, I'll take home about $530 a week average."
After tax.
Yeah, you know, Getrag worker about $550 a week after tax. You know, Network Rail fella $420 a week after tax.
So was you one of the lowest paid there?
Between us, yeah.
Was
But
it?
I averaged last year, it was $453
Right.
a week after tax. So he was like, "Oh, fucking hell, they're all dead good jobs. Have any of you got any jobs going?" Now I said,
I hate that cheddar peak.
to my knowledge, there's none going down that place, but I wouldn't even be able to
Guess.
influence it anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So I wouldn't even bother. He went, "Oh, well, I fucking wouldn't work down your place anyway, for obvious reasons, which are going to remain undisclosed." And then the other three lads that were there, the Network Rail fella, said, "There's agency jobs going on my thing. Take home $320 a week. After a year, you become permanent, goes to $350 a week. 4 on, 4 off."
For
Oh,
some,
fucking hell, I wouldn't do 4 on, 4 off, right? That's exactly what he said. Jaguar worker said, "Oh yeah, mine's a 6-2, 2-10, 10-6, Monday to Friday."
6 till 2, 2 to 10, 10 till 6.
Yes. 6 to 2, 5 days a week. 2 to 10, 5 days a week. 10-6, 4 days on the last week. Not 5, always 4. You always lose a shift. And take home $540 a week.
£540 a week.
Oh.
Very nice.
And he said, "Oh no, I couldn't do that. I couldn't work nights." That's what the lad's saying, right? The other fella, the Getrag worker,
What's
Again,
Getrag?
gearbox.
Got black
gearbox.
shit there, by the way. It's really annoying
It's
me.
alright, it's off the fucking-
I know, it's gone now.
build the gearboxes for Ford.
Just moved it down. It's really affecting me OCD. Corner. There you go. There you go. Wunderbar. I'll be speaking German this time next year.
They make gearboxes for Ford,
Okay.
just opposite Jaguar.
Getrag.
Bit more money,
Really?
more difficult contract. It's very hard to get a job in there, and you've got to work in Jaguar before you get in there. And he said, 4 on, 4 off, blah, blah, blah. And the lad said, "Oh, I know, I just couldn't do 4 on, 4 off." And all 4 of us were looking at him like he's an alien. These sums of money, I don't think he was appreciating just how much money he could earn.
So it's basically going from what, 60 quid a week?
Yeah, 60 quid
So
job
it's-
seekers.
it rather-
£61 a week job seekers.
And you only get that for 6 months, don't you?
Yes.
No. So we'd rather go from 60, rather stay on £60 a week than potentially take on £330.
Yes.
Is he fucking is he retarded?
And this is exactly what he said to all 4 of us. We're all looking at him like a fucking alien.
Uh-huh.
He said, "No," he said, I need an 8-5 job that pays well." And we just all looked at him like, "Well, you're thick as fuck, 'cause you're not going to find one."
What's his degree in photography?
Yeah.
And what does he want to do? Does he just
He
want
doesn't know.
He just wants to do it, have a paid well 8 till 5 job.
Yeah. And we all looked at him. If there was well-paid 8 to 5 jobs, wouldn't we all be doing it?
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Exactly. If somebody would have said to me 5 years ago, if somebody would have said to me 2 years ago that I'll be doing the job that I was on now, getting paid well for it, but if I was doing... Fucking getting invaded. If I was doing the job that I'm doing now, I would have laughed my tits off at him. I would have said there's no way in a million years that me, suit and tie man, would be fucking doing the job that I'm doing now. But fucking, as truthful as I'm sat here, I'm the happiest I've ever been in work, and the wealthiest I've ever been in work, and I'm the most content I've ever been in work, and it's the best fucking move I ever did. My brain's rotting. I know that immediately. My brain is rotting. I don't feel challenged enough, but am I fucking happy sat there?
Yeah.
Yes is the answer. And I've always put status over position.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Over work position. And even though I was earning a lot less than what I was on now, but because I wore a suit and tie and I looked the shit, I was happy with that.
Yeah.
I had no idea what the real world was like.
Yeah.
Proper money is earned outside of the office. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? All right, people do talk to you a little bit different. People who don't know you, do you know what I mean? When they meet you, when you've got a suit and tie on, they treat you a little bit different because of where I am now, they treat me, I don't know, not that speak down to me, but I'm not treated like an equal, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
But I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. People go, oh, how do you work here? How do you work here doing this? And I say to them one thing, they pay me lots and lots of money.
But
which is the truth, isn't it?
I thought,
could you imagine doing your job for £250 a week?
if it was desperate enough, and there was no jobs at all.
Yeah, I tell you now, mate. If my job was £250 a week, if my job was £300 a week, there's no fucking way I'll be sat there, mate. I'll be fucking crying, masturbating. Make it stop! Make it stop!
See, the thing is,
sometimes I have nightmares about the place closing down. You know, when I wake up and I think, oh, thank fuck, it's still there. And I go into work and I clean my desk and I think, I'm so happy again.
Now I was looking at him. Now you shouldn't tar everybody with the same brush. I was looking at him and thinking, if every single person, if 15-20% of young people have got the same attitude as you've got,
job's fucked.
You're fucked. You're never gonna have a fucking proper job. You're gonna end up on some shit paid fucking job
eventually, because you'll want money. You want money,
and I was just thinking, and one of the lads said to him, "You're not gonna find anything."
God, somebody was fair to him.
You're not gonna find anything like that at all.
There's going to be 1,000 people.
It's one in 1,000 to get a job like that. And you don't start on 8.5 now. You start on shit hours now. You fucking aim for 8.5.
Yeah.
For the same money. By getting up the ranks.
It's not living in the real world. It really isn't. It's classroom politics for you. And I've done all my time. Now give me a nice job, please.
Yeah. And
Sam.
And the thing was, the fascinating thing with it was that,
how was he funding his experience?
Fucked if I know.
Lots and lots of cocaine.
I just found it fascinating, and not only that. And then later on in the weekend, somebody got on a political fucking.
Oh,
political.
So you bet you were like a meerkat, weren't you? Tory.
And
engaged Tory senses.
I was sat there in that fucking mode of, when somebody asked me a question type of thing, I said, you really don't want me to answer that.
Was you sat there putting on your blue fucking wall paint with your blue tie around the head?
I was sat there, I was going, you really do not want to ask me that. And he looked at me.
Salute the flag.
And he's kind of like, why not? I said, because every single one of you now are slandering every one of my political fucking opinions.
Okay.
I said, so I'm not even going to get into it.
Oh, well, straight away, that's opened the door to wanting them to challenge you.
To be honest with you, I wanted them to start pushing it, because I was, I admitted openly I was a conservative. I wanted them to try and push it so I could see how intelligent they were before it, because I'm not going to stoop down to fucking the thickos level.
Oh, one of these who, by birth, they're just a Labour Party, something like that.
To be honest with you, they were generally speaking intelligent anyway.
Okay.
We were all young. We were all fucking 20 to 30. And but this lad, all he could say was immigrants.
Is this the guy who wasn't working?
Yes, this is the one who. All I could say was immigrants taking jobs, immigrants taking jobs, immigrants taking jobs.
Is that what this fucking world is, isn't it?
I don't think there's one Polish man in this entire country on an 8.5 job, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Fucking, so.
There's a few, obviously. Yeah, generalising very, very harsh, yeah.
But, to me, if I all of a sudden went out of work, I'd take anything.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, but when I was out of work for, I think it was 3 weeks or something like that, I was literally applying for everything and anything, from minimum wage up to fucking 40 grand a year jobs. I was just wanted a job.
I spent 2 months unemployed when I was in college. I went from at 12 years old, I got a job on a milk round, which was a massive £24 a week.
I know.
And I was fucking loaded for that. And
at 12 years old, £24 a week is astronomical.
I had that till the week before I left school.
That's comics and fucking toffee shit, that, isn't it?
And as soon as I left school, through the summer holidays, the second I started at college, my mum got me an interview at Morrison's. So I went down, and ever since then, I've never spent one day out of work. Because literally, and it's not necessarily that I've been willing to accept anything, but I've just always been of the opinion, I want to work.
Yeah.
I want to be working. Whether or not someone comes up to me now and says, here you go, 12 hours a week, I'm still going to fucking do it. Because unless
if it's financially viable.
Well, even if it's not financially viable, and I'm going to take that now on 12 hours a week. You're still going to get fucking benefits anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'm going to take it, and if it's bad anyway, I'm just going to look for a job somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the best thing is, if you're in fucking work, piece of piss to get another job.
Yeah, it's easy to find work while you're employed. Definitely.
I've just always had that opinion. Now, for my current job, I have no fucking
ambition.
I don't even have an inclination of wanting to leave at all.
Neither do I.
I've now got 5 years redundancy banked, which plus your 90 days is what will that work out? That'll be about $9,000.
Yeah, well, plus your 90 days. Yeah, 90 days will be 2, 4, 6 grand.
Yeah. So
before tax,
90 days for me will be about 4.5.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, same for me on 3 month, on 4 week months.
So you're talking about nearly 10 grand redundancy. Now, 10 grand redundancy, if I could take that, I would take that, and I'd pay myself the exact amount that I'm earning every week until I got a job. Whatever's left, debt consolidation. Because I argue it's probably going to be less money.
Yeah.
Debt consolidation, debt consolidation, debt consolidation. If I get lucky, a bit of playing, maybe a holiday, something like that. But I'm going to do sensible things with it. Because in my opinion now, I want to work my fucking ass off right now.
Yeah.
Right this fucking minute. And I want, because a lot of people tend to, they get to like 40 odd, 45, and a lot of people who are that age now, I've always been planning that when they come to this age in life, they'll be able to go on loads of holidays and they'll be able to go on loads of this and loads of that. And they're not that well off. And I want to fucking just do everything now, get it all out of the way, and fucking just smash pension away. Now, I know pensions are shite anyway, but to me, that's my fucking
nest egg.
It's my life insurance. If I get it, that's good, no problem. If I don't, then fucking my missus will fucking get it paid out tax free for pop me clogs before I retire. But to me, that's number one. It's got an early retirement option, and number two, I just want to fucking work, just get out of the fucking way while I can.
It seems the kids of the 70s are fucked up. Because when I was younger and growing up, by the time you got to your 40s and 50s, you had a lot of free cash to spend. But it seems that people who are in the 40s and 50s now, the numbers of people with free cash is massively, massively reduced, and that is probably a lot to do with consumerism and fucking all these loans coming out left, right, and centre. It's probably hurt a generation of people. But by the time I'm 50, theoretically, as long as I stick to what I'm doing, I'm going to be mortgage free by the time I'm 50 years
One of the
old.
main things that does it for people now as well is that what gets added onto their monthly bills compared to 30 years ago. I'm not just on about price rises. I'm on about stuff that fucking 30 years ago would never have even been a bill. For example, straight away, mobile phones. Let's face facts. A fucking 40-odd-year-old couple, what are they going to spend? 80 quid a month? Mobile phone contracts, arguably. That's roughly what it's going to be, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I pay £50 a month now for my mobile phone bill.
So that's what I'm saying. Two, let's say 45-year-old, a married couple. More than likely, they're going to have phone contracts.
Yeah.
There's 80 quid.
Easy.
Right. On your average fucking wage, that is fucking... That's like, wow. Between you, that's like 5%.
Yeah.
5% of your monthly income. Yeah. Out the fucking window for mobile phones. Broadband, telly, cable, all them fucking things. 50 quid, arguably.
I'll pay £100 a month.
Well, I pay £54.49.
Yeah, so let's average it. £50.
I don't have any good stuff though. I've just got the internet and just a few TV channels.
Okay.
So let's just say 50, just as a lower estimate.
Yeah,
right?
So automatically it's £130 already.
So now they're up to about 9% of your average income, and that's both of you earning out of that. So there's 9% gone out the fucking window, right? Car insurance, arguably way more than it would have been 30 fucking years ago. And I mean way
Oh yeah, definitely. Well outside of inflation.
Let's face facts, fucking car insurance, even for the fucking person with the best insurance, could be about 40 quid.
That's how much. Well, Gale's is 35. Well, mine's £35 a month. Gale's dad's is something like £200, £250 a year through SAC.
Yeah.
I'm saying that though, everybody's had cars, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Right.
Luxury food as well.
Right, so now you're up to 12, 13%. Now, Jamie Oliver made one good fucking point in that interview, because I did read it.
Is this the immigration one?
Yes.
Right.
He made an interview which was, how can people say they are fucking absolutely skint when they've got massive televisions?
Yeah.
You know, I don't care what you fucking say. You have all these people, you know, the first thing, like, let's say I really went on the bones of my ass, and I mean on my ass, as in your house is going to get repossessed ass. This house would be empty. I would sell everything.
No, you wouldn't.
I fucking would. Everything would go. Fucking definitely.
No way.
Everything would go.
No way.
Definitely.
I don't understand how you can do that.
Right. So, right now, if you was completely on your ass and they said to you, if you do not give us this amount of money now, or your money doesn't reduce over the monthly income or whatever because you're not going to earn enough, you'd lose your house within 3 months.
Right.
You'd lose the house for a computer.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Hang on a second though. That's going to be a temporary fix. What are you going to do the month after? Once you've sold all your shit, you're going to lose all your shit.
No,
anyway.
what I'm saying though is, that's gone. Don't need the broadband. If I've got no telly, don't need the fucking telly. Don't need the fucking phone line. Yo, scrap it.
Yeah, but that's only a temporary fix.
Yeah, but if that's less of a monthly outgoing, and then when you've got more money in the future, you do it. Fucking years ago, my fucking mum and dad told me, when they first got their first fucking house, they had fuck all. They couldn't afford a television. They couldn't even afford wallpaper or carpets.
Yeah.
They were fucking sleeping on a fucking bed that had fucking springs sticking up out of it and fucking no bedclothes for 3 months.
That's well, we weren't that bad, but me and Gail, when we first got our first house, we were sleeping on the floor in the living room for about, fucking hell, I think it was about a month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And then we bought a bed. And then a month later, we bought one sofa.
Yep.
And then a month later, we bought a second sofa.
That's what I'm saying. I could not knowingly right now, you know, say...
You'll melt down, Dick. You'd be bored, shitless.
I know, but I could not knowingly say...
You would turn to cry.
Oh yeah, I would
You
definitely
would
turn to
turn to
crime. I've been quoted as saying that. But
it's true.
but my argument behind it is, arguably, let's say somebody right now is on their ass. Let's say they don't have kids. Let's make it a nice, easy example.
Right.
Uncomplicated. Let's say they are absolutely on their ass. First thing I would fucking think, right, reduce the shopping bill.
Uh-huh.
Go to the cheapest, shittiest place I possibly can. You know, you're going to save a lot. If you just went out and fucking decided, I'm going to eat tin soup this month.
Honestly, hand on heart, including takeaways, what is your monthly expense on food?
Last month it was...
Honestly.
I went slightly over budget on the food. It was $262 on the food last month.
Right. This is
not
food
this
out
month,
of shops.
The month before. This is food out of shops.
Okay.
And I spent approximately 50 quid on takeaways.
And how much did you spend in shops?
$262.
$262. So you spent arguably, what, about £310
In total.
in total for that month?
A month, yeah.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking amazing.
I know, but I'm dead strict with my finances. I really am. Not only that, there's only 2 of us.
You're not really that strict with your finances, though, are you?
Yeah, because I buy fucking models and all sorts, but that's because I fucking want them.
You're strict on things that... You're strict on things that bore you, like food.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's a necessary respect. Like I fucking hate it. Do you know, when I total up all my money now, I now include my food bill out of it. I've took that monthly fucking deduction out, and I've now included it into me fucking monthly free money. So I fucking detest it. Yeah. That's the best thing what I did, because when I had me £150 a month budget in there for food and petrol, I was spending easy £100 a week on food. Yeah. Fucking easy. But now we've took it out, that's come down dramatically. It's come down to like £75.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I know exactly how much money I can reduce by. I know that if I suddenly decided, now I want to save my money, I could probably save about 10-15 quid a week by shopping at Aldi. Mm-hmm. It's a pain in the ass because they're going to fucking shop somewhere else to get all the spare parts. It just can't be arsed. Mm-hmm. Plus they don't accept credit cards, so I'm kind of boycotting them at the moment. But if I was desperate, I would fucking, I'd do it. But people,
credit cards should be illegal.
But for example, now this is the handy thing I've got, right? Straight away, first thing, right? 100 quid a month, right? In petrol. 60 quid a month in insurance. Right.
That's going to come down as well. That you just know your insurance is always going to come down.
160 quid a month straight away there, right? Got a car parked up on the front. If I lost my job for whatever reason, well, I don't even need that for work. That is not a necessity. That is a luxury.
The good thing about that car though is, Dick, if you lost work, automatically you've got $8,000 sat outside your house, so you could sell that and automatically have $8,000 in capital.
Yeah. But like I said, if I lost my house and if I lost my job and I was on my ass that much, now don't get me wrong, I know you've always got a fucking couple of months anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, maybe you got me redundant, but
6 months you get now from certain mortgage providers.
yeah, it's quite a lot on quite a lot of finance agreements. It's about 6 months before they can try and repossess. But
And do you know what? If you don't pay it 6 months, but see if you're making like a contributed payment. Let's say your mortgage is, say for example, £200 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
See if you're making half of your monthly payment, they can't fucking repossess your house as well.
I know.
It's unbelievable, that, isn't it? Sorry, it's more difficult for them to repossess your house. I think it takes 12 months.
But like, for example, let's say I had that on Ford options, right? Let's say I had that on the finance agreement, which I was considering in the first place. That without a deposit was £200 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I've got it on the options. That's £360 a month going out of my bank. Just like that, bam,
Bye bye,
bam,
bye
bam,
bye,
bam.
bye bye. How much did you save then paying cash?
It was fucking minimal. It was like £400 over the space of 2 years in interest.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Over the options thing, it's only 4% interest on the
That's
car.
brilliant. I think mine was 16% when I bought that car.
But like I said, that's £360 straight away. £360, that's a fucking lot. That's a mortgage. That's my mortgage. Just more than my mortgage. You know.
If my car was at 4%, I would have took it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the massive reasons why I didn't take it at 16% because it was 16%.
So I'd get that and I'd just go, right, take it back, have it back. You know, Ford people, there you go, have it back. There's £360 a month. You know, even if I got a job again, it's more than likely going to be this area.
Mm-hmm.
And you can walk. Fucking hell, you can walk across fucking Widnes in, 50 minutes? An hour, maybe? From corner to corner. And I'm right in the centre as well, so it's even shorter than that.
Not really, though, are you? Warrington's. Oh, you are actually probably
right
banged in the centre, yeah.
But stuff like that. These people, you know, on the bones of my ass. Like I said,
Big TVs.
big fucking TVs.
Flawed. It was
Big
flawed.
Sky, big Sky packages.
The Sky
Kids.
packages I can't understand. And every time a councillor comes out and say, if you're on the dole and you're claiming money and all this, you shouldn't have Sky TV.
Mm-hmm.
And they get fucking slated for saying that, but he's got a massive fucking point.
No.
Because if you've got Sky, all the sports, let's say you've got all the top packages, including broadband and all that, it's at least £100 a month. I think the maximum I've ever paid is £107 a month. That's a massive, he's got a massive point there, hasn't he?
Well, that's what I mean.
Why did they get ridiculed for saying that?
Sorry?
Why do councillors or MPs get ridiculed for saying people who are unemployed and on the dole shouldn't be paying £100 a month?
Because people can't get it into their heads that laptop right there, that computer, them models, that fucking car, fucking
The luxuries.
nearly everything. They are the luxuries. That's exactly what they are. That's why you pay fucking VAT on the fucking things.
Yeah.
I know we pay VAT on stuff that's not really a luxury anymore, but that's arguably what VAT is for, luxury stuff.
Yeah.
Nearly everything's luxury is going to have VAT on it.
Uh-huh.
You know, even as far as, you know, being as petty as, you know, like little fucking food items. You know, some of it's fucking luxury.
Mobile phones as well.
Mobile phones, straight away.
It's got a massive
Let's
point.
face facts. Look at this, right? This is the best example, right? My fucking mobile phone
Have you
cost me.
found it?
Sorry?
Have you found your mobile phone?
No, this is my drug dealer one.
It's not really a drug dealer one. It's a cheap fucking phone
Right.
that the drug dealers have.
That was 11 fucking quid from Tesco, and it came with £10 free top up, right?
Oh my god.
With a SIM card. 11 fucking quid.
So basically,
Right.
you got a phone for £1.
Yeah, you know, and it's a phone. It does what it fucking needs to be.
Mm.
You know, I pay fucking 36 quid, I think it is, for my other phone.
Mhm.
But it's an expensive phone. That'd be on my fucking kill list, you know. If I was that skint, that'd be fucking, everything would be on the kill list. You'd be like, right, I'm going to kill that, kill that, kill that,
Yeah.
kill it. It's all going.
Yeah.
Everything's got to go.
Mm.
I don't get me wrong, I'm not going to fucking live without fucking a bed or chairs or sofa
Yeah.
or something like that. You know, I might arguably sell a TV and get like a little shitty TV.
I'm going to see how much I would save if I fucking cut out all my good shit.
Yeah.
A month. I've never done this before, you know.
I guarantee you, if
Frames per second is losing the shit.
It's not too bad. Um,
14 frames per second, 16 frames per second.
it's probably getting hot now, I suspect.
Yeah. Please don't.
I worked it out a while ago. If me and Kayla... Now, bearing in mind, me and Kayla have fucking nearly 300 quid each. Money. Kayla's me, Mrs., by the way. For those who don't know.
Mrs. Whiteside.
Mrs. Whiteside.
Oh, how did that feel? How did that feel? I just seen the soul leave your body. That's it, I'm out of here, Dak. Fucking, you've
Soon
lost.
to be Mrs. Whiteside. That 300 quid between us, right? So 600 in total, right? Straight away, as soon as that's 600, that's extra money. That's fucking gone. There's 600 quid fucking saved up. We're not going to spend, because that all gets spent on luxury stuff. That's all extra, And I worked it out, not including that, just our luxuries. I'm sure we were at fucking 800 quid.
Fucking hell.
You're talking about, and I mean this was really strict shit.
Uh-huh.
That's in me like me emergency plan. When the shit does really hit the fan.
Right.
And it was something like, what was it? 80 quid phone, 55 quid Virgin, right? There's 135 quid.
Mm-hmm.
You've got petrol, 235 quid.
Mm-hmm.
Insurance, that's 300 quid.
Right.
Arguably, I'm going to pay attention at the cars, options. Obviously, I know I'll be getting my cash back for it if I went and sold it now, but let's say it is on options. So, there you go. That's £500. That's £500 saving, just like that. And what else was it? There was other stuff. Now, arguably, if you got rid of your TV, you'd scrap your TV license as well.
Yeah.
You've got... Now, imagine if you didn't have fucking a computer or a telly.
Oh, my God.
Right. All of a sudden, I imagine how much your electricity bill would go down. Mine would fucking bomb.
Yeah.
That fucking thing destroys the electricity bill. It just gets it and fucking goes, yeah, I'm having you. I'm going to fucking bum you. It's going to be a lot of fucking money.
If we scrap all of our shit, let's just wear this out. If we scrap all our shit out of £1,200 a month,
You'd save £1,200 a month.
well, no, I don't know how much I'll save. I'll save like £350 a month, something like that. It's unbelievable, that, isn't it? 6, 4, 6, yeah. Also, would need all my bills would be £323 a month. See, we're paying an extra £200 a month off our mortgage as well. So I've put that down to 200 quid. Got rid of the Sky.
What are you paying? What, you've agreed to pay an extra £200 a month?
Well, we're gonna pay an extra £200 a month starting this month. So what is it now? Yeah, I would have £1,200 a month free cash. The only thing we need to pay is my EDF, car insurance. Well, should we get rid of the car insurance?
Well, yeah, your car's going to go. Your petrol's going to go.
Delete the TV. 4, 5, 600 quid. Yeah, £600 a month. 600. Boo! £300 a month. I would have £1,263 a month. Oh my God! I can't even comprehend that.
I read a study that said about 30% of outgoings these days is non-necessity stuff. And bearing in mind that now under government policy, a internet connection is a necessity.
Yeah, I'd agree.
They class that along with your phone line, your landline. I mean, that was including that. That was without saving for your.
Right, we've reached our recording limit.
Right, sound. What, we're going to wrap it up? Or?
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Good up.
And that was the Go Forth and Amplify podcast from the Global Unification Network. Go to gu-network.com for an alternative look at world news. This week, that was me, Ben Burrows, at Brit Podcaster on Twitter, and Declan Whiteside, at The Anarchist Undead on Twitter. We was here to blow your fucking minds. If you enjoyed what we do, hopefully this time next week we will be broadcasting from... this time next week we should be broadcasting from live stream. We've got to switch over to them, no limitations at all. We can stream in better definition, and we're really excited to do it. Please check out gu-network.com for an alternative look at the world news. Follow at gu_network.com on Twitter for all of our breaking news and opinion articles. There's good things coming from the Global Unification Network. Keep your eyes out. See you on the other side, we will be back shortly.